What's cracking, YouTube? It's your boy Moses, aka Nomo, right here in the Lit Alley Trap House with the homie Gregory Greens
Hey, it's lit.
in the building. This is the first interview we have in the Trap House right here in our new setup, new studio. Special, very special guest, somebody that we I've been wanting to have on the show pretty soon, and finally it came through. So, good looking out for coming through, homie.
What's good, big dog?
All the way from the Bay.
Everything good. LA to the Bay. You know we getting this money.
Hell yeah. So let's get off started real quick and let the people know a little bit about who you are, where you come from, and
Yeah, man. I'm just young kid born in Compton, California. Started out living out there, the rough life. But been an LA kid my whole life. Laker fan. Grew up in the whole '80s, '90s era. Just all the gang banging, the low riding, the tagging, all the shit that LA is all about. So been out here doing my thing. LA, stayed there about 30 something years, and then just cut to the Bay within the last couple years. I've been up there doing my thing, so it's all good.
it's good.
Repping Cali, heavy,
right.
north
West
to
Coast.
south, west coast all day.
How's it up there living in the north?
I like it. I love the Bay. Like I've always been intrigued by the Bay. I've always been really, even when I was living in LA, I would always be like, it was a good little quick getaway where you can go to another big city, see something different, see something that's not LA. It's kind of like a little mini New York, so to speak, And when you're from LA, you go there, it's like night and day, like a whole new city, a whole new place. So it was cool. When I moved up there, I'd already had a solid like little background, of going up there and, doing business up there and kicking it, going to Raider games, whatnot. So once I moved there, it was like, let me just kind of like fit in the vibe here, see what's going on. Everything's smooth. I've always loved the scenery, the weather's real cool, the people are cool. So it's just another dope part of California that we've always, we can always brag about, but they don't look at LA like that for some reason.
What do you mean?
They have this rivalry with LA for some reason. Like every time I'm up there and if I wear a LA hat, I'm not a baseball fan, but if I wear a LA hat, they'll be like, oh, they right away want to ask about the Dodgers and you're from LA and like, it's like, oh, what do you like better? Do you like living? And I always tell them like, bruh, excuse me, the Bay Area is dope, but don't ever think it's better than LA. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we got weather, beaches, you know what I'm saying? It's just a different lifestyle up here. Don't get me wrong, the Bay's lit. But like I said, we've never been in LA. We're not over there. We're not down here worried about like, what's better? We know we're lit. You know what I'm saying? LA's lit for life. So, but it's like, I've always like, loved going to both cities. So when I got an opportunity to go up there, I took it, just kind of needed to get away from the Hollywood scene for a bit because I was caught up in that too. So stepping away from that, being, there's a club or a party popping in LA every fucking night. You know what I'm saying? So I was a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nigga with it. Friday, Saturday, shit, come on. And wherever the party was popping, was at, and when you got access. So it was like I was just falling into all the right spots and just, you know what I'm saying? Like eternally lit.
Yeah.
So it's only right that I come to the lit outlet.
That's right.
Lit,
Speak a little bit more about like your connection with the music industry and your the party days and the Hollywood lifestyle.
Yeah, that's like I'm obviously related to the Game, the rapper. That's my first cousin. My dad and his dad are brothers. Rest in peace, Greg. Rest in peace, Uncle George. My niggas. That's how I got into the Game. That's how. Actually, I have family from before too in the music industry, but we'll get to that. But this is my introduction was with him, yeah, because we was from the neighborhood, living on in Compton, back and forth, living the LA life. We was just hustling, young niggas hustling all over LA. This nigga Game's career takes off, and when his career takes off, I was touring with him. I was doing his bodyguard shit. I was just he's my big cousin, and he told me like when the shit pops off, we about to be out. So I was like, all right. I was mentally 21 years old, 22 years old, prepping myself for the call, basically, you know, like whenever the shit was about to get lit. And I was at my job. I was working at a fucking strip club at the time. And I was telling these bum ass niggas that I was working with, because they was all in their 30s and shit, still working at the club. I'm like 22. I'm like, nigga, I'm about to be out this fucking job. I'm like, you niggas be over here acting like this shit's. I'm like, shit.
What were you doing? Security?
I was doing security, and then I was doing DJing too.
Oh shit.
So I was doing both, you know, because I'm a big nigga and I had my skills on the mic. So I was like, all right. But these niggas, I was telling them, like, shit, I'm about to be out, you know. And then one day, this nigga Game hit me on the next tail, like, bloop, bloop. We going to Puerto Rico. Meet me on the block in 3 hours.
Damn.
I'd never been on a flight before, so I was like, fuck it. I was sitting there in Whittier smoking with my homies, and I'm like, all right, all y'all niggas get the fuck out. I got 3 hours to get ready for this flight, you know?
Fucking, what strip club were you at?
It was this one called Imperial Showgirls. They had one in Pico Rivera, and they had one in Anaheim. So I was working at both of them spots.
All right.
Yeah. That was back in the day, though, back in the day. So, like, that was when Game wasn't even out yet. His music wasn't even really, it was just getting to the streets, you know? And the only way, like, I was a DJ, I had my little CD burner, and I'd just be burning CDs, you know? But I would be on the block. So I'd come from the block, and I would get a CD of just all these bangers that he just put out. He hasn't put them out yet. He just recorded, you know? And they would give them to all the homies, you know, because we'd be all bumping the music. And I would just be, you know, burning CDs, like, check out my cousin. Check out my cousin. He gonna be, you know, he gonna be fire. He gonna be, you know. And niggas was like, when he finally blew up, dudes would always come back and tell me, like, damn, I remember you used to be handing out the CDs. Like, I'm like, yeah, man, because we, you know, it was fire. If you remember games like mixtape shit back in the day, before the album, before the documentary even dropped, if you hear any of those mixtapes that he put out before then, that was when he was just on some like murderous, raw, cocaine, grimy shit.
Grimy, bro. Straight street shit.
Yeah. So once I started traveling with him, you know, going on tours, his career took off, whatever, and I just started networking with different people that I would always, you know, I'd always try and meet people and just interact with different people in different cities, wherever we're at, make friends. You know, obviously I was like the weed guy, so I had the weed, so everyone fucked with me. You know, we touched down, you know, so it would just be like, whatever, you know, nigga, I'm making connections left and right. And then once I had like traveled the world with him, you know, a couple times, then I had got my own, like, you know, I'm like, okay, well, I'm making connections with these people now. I'm like interacting with these people, and this is long after, you know, he's no longer in the, you know, in the picture, not in the picture, but he's like, we're continuing conversations with these people that I met. They're like, oh, come back out here. Okay, cool. So now it's like, now I have the, you know, I'm traveled a little bit. I went from just being this little fucking knucklehead kid from LA, just running around, to, okay, now I've been to a few. I've been to New York a few times, been to Miami, been to Puerto Rico. You know, I've hit some big cities. I've met some people, you know, outside of California. And that's what really got me to, like, I just started booking flights on my own, and I got addicted to just being able to, like, take off and go places and travel. And, you know, it's a good feeling, you know, when you're, like, you feel, because before that I felt, like, very stuck, you know. Mm-hmm. I think, like, most kids from the fucking ghetto in LA, that's how you feel, you know, when you stuck.
See the
you
same
know,
shit
there's no
every
way
day.
out, you know. But then it's like, I didn't like want to ever be like, you know, like that, like, oh, that's what just life's gonna be. I got homies that are, you know, see sitting on the block, and then, you know, they older years, and I'm like, man, I don't want to be that, you know.
For sure. How's back then? Because I was what, 2000 what?
This was 2000, like 2004 is like when we first started like traveling.
Back then, how was the weed in different states? Like, how was it a big
Oh, it was
difference?
not even. Oh no, not even a fucking. You couldn't even You couldn't even play games in other states with weed back in the day. Like, it was like, only now is it really starting to get like chill, you know, with other states. But before, I remember being like, and I'm from LA, so I'd always just bring weed with me everywhere I went. I never left home without it, you know. Like, I was like, well, I don't give a fuck what city we flying to. We gonna fucking stash this little, you know. You know how they just passed that law about you can fly out of LAX with weed. Everyone was all cheering about that shit. I'm like, nigga, I've been doing that shit for 15 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, what y'all excited about? But Yeah, so I mean, I would be in New York, Miami, even random states where I wasn't with gang when I was just on my own, but I always take weed with me, and niggas would just be like, "Bro, you're crazy. Be out here smoking like that." I just be outside smoking in the like I remember I smoke freely, I don't care. I do that shit here in LA too because it's like a lot has to happen for somebody to like smell you smoking, see you smoking, call the police. Like by the time that happens, the blunt's gone, I'm gone, so I was never really worried about it. And as far as just, putting a little bit in my bag, it wasn't nothing. No one's fucking, everyone I think was too paranoid about that. The TSA is like not as,
So you're kind of like a 1 in a million, 1 in 10 million kind of life that you have, making being born where you're born, growing up in the circumstance you grew up in, and then being able to leave, travel the world, and have fun and party with people that we look up to and we see on TV most of the time. Most people don't even get a chance to meet them.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't look at it like that, like I wouldn't say it's like 1 in a billion or whatever, but it's like, I just feel like, like I happened to be related to this person who, blew up in the music industry. I was blessed to have him allow me to, like take me out of California and take me out of the ghetto, take me out of see some shit that I'd never seen before. And in turn, yeah, that made me want to be someone who's just, work hard, stack your money, live life, travel. Travel is for me is very key, and I see a lot of people who are not not traveling, not enjoying themselves, not enjoying their lives. Like, like you work, you fucking have the kids, you got to do all the, but you got to take some time out too, just to kind of like for yourself, even if you bring the kids or if you don't got kids, it's not even about that. It's like some people just don't get out the box. They get comfortable in their little zone, and I've always been like, I don't know, like I can't sit in one place too long, and I have friends who are just like, I've always had friends who are very like outgoing, spontaneous, want to just get up and go. Oh, we'll book a trip. We're going here. We're going. Okay, cool. I want in. Just show me the price, how much I need to pay, and whatever. Let me know when it's due by, and for then I'll just go, start putting my little money aside to until it's time to go.
So you've been on tour like all over the U.S. and then in Europe and different places
Yeah,
like
I've
that
been
too.
I've been all over U.S. many times. I've been on an international tour too. I've also traveled out there, on my own. I just got back from the Maldives. I just got back from Dubai. So I was just out there like I
I'm
went.
just saying. I know you don't want to call it like a 1 in a billion type of, but bro, Dubai,
I mean, you
Maldives.
know what I'm saying, but
That's
you think like you say
pretty.
like 1 in a billion, but it's like I could pull up an app right now and get you a fucking first class flight to Dubai for like under $1,000, bro, and that's not unreachable. That's not it's like if you really want to like treat yourself to a good time, like all you got to do is put like you can put $5,000 aside and go have a memorable trip that and that I mean that might be a lot to some people, and I know people's money are different, shit, whatever, but if you think about it, like it's really not that much when you put all the bullshit you wasting on food and other dumb shit, that you can really add up quick. You get your little Acorns app started. Shout out to Acorns. Get your little app going. Put deduct $100 a week out of your account. That's $400 a month that you and just quietly say it just takes it out your account. You know, boom, you got 400 right there at the end of the month.
That's dope.
Do that every month. So it's just like you gotta like make sure you live life. You gotta make sure you travel. My goal is like, shoot, I want to see as many different spots on the earth before I die. Like before I die, I want to be like everywhere. I don't know exactly how many countries I've hit, but I just want to keep adding more to it.
Bro, on your Instagram, you're in Sweden one day. You're
Yeah.
back in
See, I
Frisco.
went on that was actually a crazy trip. That was earlier this year. So this is my second time going to Dubai this year. The first time I went with my boy. He's a amazing artist named Devin Almarinas. at Devlin Almarina. Shout out my nigga. Um, he just hit me like, yo, I got this trip. You know, want to go out there and sell some artwork. I got these art shows lined up. I really need you just to like, you know, you're my boy. He's my boy. But he was also like, you know, I'm going to be out here dealing with these just, you know, different people, different culture. Just want to have the homie watch my back, you know, and just go have a good time. So I was like, cool, you know, let's roll. We roll out to Sweden. The art starts going really well, you know. Boom. Next thing you know, we get a call like we got to go to Dubai from Sweden. Like, you know, that wasn't even part of the trip. So we end up going over there. Boom, you know, fucking with the prints and shit, doing all this, taking these paintings, making these crazy deliveries. It was just it was a wild experience, you know, but it was like all like fell into place. Like, you know, I just have homies, like I said, I have friends who love to do that shit too.
Yeah.
So when they hit me, I just be like, yeah, let's go. Or I'll just plan some shit on my own. Like, I don't have to be with no one either. Like, there's a lot of times where I just travel on my own and people like, who you going with? And I just be like, nobody. I just dip out solo because like I love being by myself, bro. I love my like solitude. So, and I got people everywhere. I feel like I don't like to go places where I'm not have a connection. You know, I will because I want to explore new shit too. But it's always good to have that plug. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
touchdown. You got somebody there, show you the way, show you around, take you to the bomb food spot, take you to the hood real quick, show me what the hood look like.
Right. Every
You
ghetto.
know, I always got to go see the hood just because that's just where we from. So.
Well, a lot of people. I'm sure some people know you that you're your cousin. You're the game's first cousin.
Yeah,
Sure
like
there's-
some people like
I'm
know.
sure.
Some people don't.
But you know what? I think more people know you for your Instagram.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing. Like, I hate when people like, you know, like lead like with that. Like, oh, he's the game's cousin because like that's not.
Yeah.
You know, that's cool. You're like, you know, that is part of, you know, it's the truth. But there's people who've like, you know, who really know me for me.
Yeah.
Know me for my Instagram page. They have no idea about my, you know, family business, which is, you know, it's cool too because like I know that's like shit. Those are real motherfuckers that are just on the page, not giving a fuck about, you know. But it doesn't matter. Like I said, I'm a people person, bro. I've always had, you know, a lot of friends and shit. So
Yeah. For those
being fucking a big ass dude, you know what I'm saying? I always stand out. I'm a people person, you know. I've always got like, you know, good vibes around me and shit. And I fuck with all races and cultures and shit. So, motherfuckers, but I noticed like motherfuckers will be tripping to like, bro, like you be with the Arabs one day, you be with the niggas the next day, you be with the white boys the next day. I was just like, bro, I'm good with everybody, bro. Whoever's like, you know.
Yeah, well, that's kind of how I ran into you. My homie Gary, shout out to Gary, put me onto your page maybe a couple years ago, and then we started following you. And you know, my page on Instagram, the Lit Outlet, used to be just a meme page, and then I ran into your shit, and I was like, God damn, these are like they're just different level memes. Like, how'd you get into the memes, and what took you in that direction of where you take your memes at?
Well, like I've always been a fan of memes, so like memes are like obviously really funny. And I just like catch myself like always just scrolling. But back in the day when memes like were first getting popular, you know, and you weren't able to create memes. You didn't even really know how a meme got made.
I think the only people making memes back then had like Photoshop. And
yeah,
bro, Photoshop was
there
impossible.
there was no apps or nothing like that. So like now it was like I'm over here like, yeah, I love the memes and I'm looking at these things and I'm saving them to my phone and I'm using them for certain situations that are funny because that's really what, you know, you use them for like group chats, Facebook comments, like back when Facebook was hot, you know, like memes were just like, you know, it just added a little fire to your shit, your comment or whatever. But then I started seeing like on Instagram when it would just become like a constant recycling of memes. So like you go to post something and then you see 19 other motherfuckers then posted it the same day. And it's like, damn, you feel like that shit wasn't too original, you know? And you start seeing everyone trying to do the meme shit, but it was like, not everybody's shit was original. Like, so I was like, I would hate that shit too because like, as I started getting like, posting more memes, getting into it, you know, like whatever. And it's just all for fun, you know. Like it's a lot of people like be like, oh, you run a meme page. It's like, nah. Like if you look at my page, I got everything on there, but I post memes too. But it's like I started seeing like so much recycling going on. So there was all this recycling going on, and then you'd always see the same thing get posted over and over, and there was no originality. So I started taking it upon myself when I found the meme apps. That's when I was like, oh, okay. Well, now I can make my own. And now I can make it say what I want to say, and I can use what picture I want to use, you know? So I'm like using the pictures that nobody has seen. I'm going from like using shit from movies, and I just started, it just started becoming funny because like I'm making shit that's just funny, but it's like definitely no one's seen it before. Like there's, so I hated when people started tagging me and shit and being like, oh, you got to see this meme. And I'd be like, nigga, like I'm the meme king, bro. Like I done seen that shit 3 months ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, or whatever the fuck. Cause it was just, the game was hella just recycled memes. Then it started getting creative. Like I started, I don't want to be like I started it, but like I started just noticing like there was a lot of different like meme pages coming along and shit. And I was like, okay, motherfuckers getting skilled. Then I started seeing everyone's tagging their names on their shit because, fools that are out here jacking it and shit, like, acting like, because fools do that shit. They'll steal all your memes and go on there and act like they're the funniest nigga in their city, bro. I done had a nigga that did that shit before. Bitch ass nigga named Rataj20 at Rataj20 RATAGE 20. Go troll that bitch ass nigga. Nigga been stealing my memes for years. Yeah, I got this funny meme that I made. It's like just there's this little puppet dude, and he's like, the dude's basically telling him like he can't push on his block, and the puppet is like telling the dude like, hey bro, like nah son, like nah, this my block, like I done set up shop right here, I got a few licks right here. And the nigga's like, nah, you about to be the lick, And then the fucking little puppet nigga pulls out the strap and said, what, son? He's like, come here, son. Like, basically like, so I made the meme, like, when you see niggas posting your memes and shit, like, because it'd be funny like that. Niggas be out here really fucking.
Yeah, my meme page was a straight meme page, and I used to just repost shit. But then it got to a point where people were reposting my shit, and I knew they would get it from me, and they wouldn't give me a shout out, like,
Yeah.
So I started putting some of my tags on it, and then it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel right me putting my tag over somebody else's tag, so I stopped doing that shit. Just
like I ain't gonna lie, I did that shit a couple times too, but yeah, that shit ain't cool. Once you get like established to where like motherfuckers is like, oh your shit's funny, you don't want to be seen doing that shit, like. So that's why I said it's better just to shout them out,
Yeah.
Shout out the person if you gonna post someone else's shit, whatever. But and then when you post your shit, keep it original, keep my shit original, so nobody be, whether it be about sports, whether it be about hoes, whether it be about, I'll be fucking with LeBron memes, whatever.
Yeah, we gotta get into those LeBron memes, but let's get into some of your hashtags. Okay. So some of the hashtags that I know of is like Gregory Green Facts, fucking the Petty Savage, the fucking Meme King, fucking Hoes Love Current Events. Let's talk a little bit more about Hoes Love Current Events and kind of elaborate on what that is.
Oh, okay. Well, Hoes Love Current Events is basically, I just started noticing like every time that there was a football game or a boxing match or a holiday or a
Olympics,
any goddamn thing that was fucking, gonna be reeling in a bunch of likes that day. I would just always notice like there's, and it started like maybe a few years back, 3-4 years ago, when the hoeing really started getting strong on the ground, and I just started seeing these bitches that's out here like, oh, soon as the fucking Eagles won, bitches bent over in a fucking Eagles jersey with the fucking ass spread out talking about, we did it. My team won. Like, bitch, shut the fuck up. You just fucking put that shit on just because you knew you gonna get, same shit with, you said the Olympics, whatever it be, the World Cup. Yeah. Oh my God, these chicks was going crazy on the World Cup.
Hell yeah.
They be all trying to rep their country and shit, be out here with the titties out, with just the fucking, the shit, anything to just
Show
Like I
ass and
said, it'd
they
be
just want to
fucking-
show ass and titties.
It'd be fucking Groundhog Day. The bitches be fucking coming out the fucking popping out the hole in the ground, talking about 6 weeks early with the titties. Just like, bitch, stop.
yeah, so
It
like,
ain't that serious.
so
you know?
basically the Hoes Love Current Events is like
So when I started, I started seeing the Hoes of Current Events. Like, I would start putting that shit like as a hashtag because I would repost. I would see something that was funny, like look at this bitch, you know, and I would take the fucking screenshot, repost it, and I would just make a little, you know, funny caption, and then just put the Hoes Love Current Events. And once it kind of like, I started doing it like once in a while, and then I just started noticing it was happening so frequently with every fucking event. So and then I'm starting like, okay, I gotta get every event, like Thanksgiving. I got the bitch the other day with the fucking, you know, laid out with the goddamn pineapples on her pussy and shit. So, you know, I got, you know, it's just anything. Rosh Hashanah, goddamn it, whatever fucking, you know, whatever fucking President's Day.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a bitch out, you know. It's like you can trust and believe. And you know what's funny? Because it's like when the days come about, I'll like look at the hashtag for whatever, you know, the fucking, you know, whatever event it is. And just you just gotta scroll down far enough. You'll scroll far enough, you'll see one. And it's funny too because now it's become such a big thing where like so many people are like they love it. People will like, I get hella submissions now too, and I respect all my people that fucking send the submissions. Yeah, shout out to y'all. I love that shit. Send them all. You know, because it's just like, you know, they know that's the alley oop right there. They gonna lob, that's the Kobe to Shaq right there. Like, they gonna lob it up and I'm gonna just destroy it, you know.
Hell
So it's always good to, you know, see the people that are involved because it's just real, you know. Motherfuckers is just, they see what it is. You bitches ain't out here, you don't give a fuck about the actual team or the fucking Olympics and none of that shit. You just out here trying to get likes, any reason to show your titties. It's tired. We all tired, you know what I'm saying?
They act like we never seen a pair of titties before.
I'm burnt out on titties, bro. You know what I'm saying? I get turned on by fully dressed women now.
Oh,
Let me see a woman with the fucking bodysuit covered up with the curves. I can see, you know, give me, man, that mystere is what fucking really, you know, gets you.
Yeah.
You know? When you fucking see it all right there, it's like shit. You know,
It's all for free.
It's all for free. And then these bitches be trying to talk about swipe up. Swipe up for what?
Yeah, that's what I want to talk about
Swipe
next.
up for what? I done seen your whole pussy right there on your like. I don't. All I gotta do is swipe down on your page till the fucking before the swipe up movement started, and you was just showing pussy right there.
Yeah.
And you haven't stopped showing pussy there. It's the same thing. They be doing the same thing. Now they go on the, they go on the IG story and scribble, new post. Bitch, nobody cares. It's the same old ass and titty you've been showing. Like we ain't impressed no more. Show me your fucking something sexy. Show me something that's just like, ugh. It's just like you said, it's burnt out.
What do you think about it's probably been like a year that I've noticed these premium Snapchats.
Oh man.
Premium Snapchats been popping up everywhere. What are your thoughts on those? Let's keep it on the subject. What are your thoughts on the thoughts of the premium?
Thoughts on the thoughts is just, you know, that's like the ultimate like low level prostitution, you know. It's just, that's all it is. You're just selling fucking ass to just thirsty motherfuckers. And like, goddamn, to any of you motherfuckers that are paying for that shit, like, goddamn, you are the saddest niggas. Like, why would you do that? Just go on to X videos for free, bro. Shout out to X videos. You know, y'all done came through for me many times. You know what I'm saying? But I don't get it, you know, like, but these hoes are just, you know, and I don't get how Instagram is allowing this shit. It's like, we can't post a picture of weed. We can, but I've noticed as of lately, they've been cracking down on that shit a little bit. Like, you post a picture of weed now, and it's like, right away you get a notification. It's like, oh, no drugs, and no this, no. It's like, okay, but you're fucking allowing, like, bitches to sell pussy. Basically, that's what it is, you know? And you act like they're not easily accessing emails, accounts, and all this other shit to set up, you know.
And getting paid off of it.
Oh, they're getting paid, you know, and still doing the fucking, like, the back page shit, you know, through the fucking Instagram and shit. But it's a crazy thing. If you go on Instagram now, you can see that shit. You can see it just straight advertising it.
Yeah, I've
like,
seen.
You know, like, it's wild. And I'm like, wow, like, they done turned back page Instagram into back page.
Yeah, that's why Backpage out of business.
Man, for real.
IG has it all.
IG getting the money though.
That's crazy how they you know, they're IG's like a pimp.
Yeah, man, they
It's like its own
they
pimp.
pimping us all.
Hell yeah.
But you know, like I said, a lot of people use IG for different things. Me personally, bro, like I use it to just make people laugh. I talk shit. In regular life. I talk shit. Anyone who knows me knows that we just be shooting the shit, talking shit, whatever. So a lot of people take Instagram super serious too, you know. So that's why I've always made it a point to like laugh about shit, make jokes, go in on people who do take shit too serious, go in on the people who are just the insta fit fucking protein powder models. You know, it's just funny because like you look at that shit and so many of us regular human beings who like have like regular eyes are like I don't let this insta shit like get to this whole like, oh, you're Gregory Green. That I'm nobody, bro. I'm Gregory fucking Taylor, you know, regular human being. I just happen to be, you know, able to talk a little shit, whatever. I don't even give a fuck. I don't have like a lot of followers, nothing, like 5,000 followers, nothing. It doesn't matter because it's just about being real and saying what's real, you know. And a lot of people are just living this whole fake shit on IG. So when they see me post something that's just like a straight call out, you know, it's like bam, home run out the park.
It's like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, like they've been like, you know, I guess I say what some people won't.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't care. Like I got personal, you know, little fucking little inquiries and little fucking ways to just jab at fucking situations.
Hey, has
and,
nobody
know,
ever came at you sideways because of one of your posts?
Nah, I mean like maybe in the DM, but like that's, you know, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You know, what am I gonna do with a DM? Like, okay, you're in your feelings, whatever. It doesn't mean what I'm saying isn't true, you know. And that's the bottom line. It's like I have another hashtag I use. It's not I've been using it as much. Stop me when I'm lying. Stop me when I'm fucking lying. Because when I'm lying, then okay, you can have a right to tell me something, but if it's the truth is the truth, you know. And it's, you may not like the delivery of it or the deliverer,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be, you know.
What about you have something about the red pill or blue pill?
Oh, the red pill, yeah, man. That's like, you know, that's like for my dudes out here, man. Who basically it's like for men who are just they need to wake up, like, you know, take the red pill and see what's going on in this whole like women's empowerment, Me Too movement era that we're living in now, you know, because it's a lot changing at the workplace. It's a lot changing, you know, with marriages. It's a lot changing, like the whole game is different. Like just everything, man. Like the way these women can manipulate a situation at work, you know, and have you out of a job. The way, you know, women are just taking marriage and just using it as a tool to just get rich, you know, or bleed a man dry, or, you know, there's a lot of scheming that goes on the, you know, the feminine side of things that doesn't get mentioned or goes, you know, just because they're women they think like, oh, you know, they're not capable of doing these things, when in fact some of the women are very capable and in fact more vicious and, you know, mentally than you think when it comes to like plotting on people's.
Do you think women are naturally, I don't know what the word is, but you know how they want to take advantage of every situation, or you think it's only some women and something happened to them in their upbringing or in their dating world that forced them to go so far to the feminist side? Like, are you born that way? Something happens to you, or is just all women naturally across the board?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like, I mean, women in general are just they're all set to this certain program because of, you know, what is it, bodily function with the, you know, the time clock, the hormones, all, you know. It's like they are always going to be very emotional about whatever they believe in, you know. And it's like, I don't know about all of them going to the feminist side, but I think the feminist stuff has made it very, very uncomfortable for a lot of men, and that's their goal, and that's cool, you know. They want to make us like, oh, but it's not uncomfortable in a way where we can't handle it. It's just uncomfortable in a way where now we know how we have to deal with them, and that's where taking the red pill comes into place, because it's like you have men who are literally I'm sure everyone has a friend that's like, in a fucking situation that he's not happy in, but he's in it because he has to do what's right for the family. There's no way
What's
you can
right.
what's right, exactly. And they sacrifice themselves and sacrifice their sanity sometimes, their freedom, their a lot of their stuff just for the sake of, and not to say like it's a marriage is a type of thing where it's give and take, but it's not just take. And I see a lot of marriages are more like the women just take, and there's no give. The women get everything they want, have every fucking bill paid for, sit on their ass, and just live in the lap of luxury, and then won't let the homie fucking go out for the night with the boys without there being a fight.
Yeah.
Or won't let can't go on a fucking boys trip or nothing like that. It's like, can't live like that. Like, that's not healthy. And if it's gonna be somebody that I'm spending the rest of my life with, then I should be able to take a couple of nights off, because sitting around with the same person every day is gonna make you go crazy. You gotta have these breaks to like be able to go do these things. And I think a lot of the relationships now, you have the women that are like wanting to be in control more, and control the situation and shit like that. So it's like, I'm old school, I was raised by Pops. Pops was, hey, you talk that shit a little bit, and then Pops said the lion and the lioness. The lioness is, his right hand. She holds him down, does everything she's supposed to do. But at the end of the day, the lion is the lion. And he's the king of the jungle, and hey, it's not a sexist thing. It's not about any of that. It's just a nature thing. We can go back and you're never gonna be able to switch those roles in the animal kingdom. You're never gonna be able to switch those roles in the shark kingdom. It's always gonna be the male, the alpha male, the female. And you can't switch it with humans. You can't, like, they want, like, I'm not against women having like rights and being able to do what they certain things that they haven't been able to do before. That's all good, but the pushing to like try and be the dominant, it's not happening. Like, it's naturally, it just can't happen, but they want to push it. And I think the feminist stuff is really, really gassing a lot of females to the point where it's like men are just popping that red pill and saying, fuck this. We're going our own way now. We're not going with the whole marriage and kids routine no more. No, I'm just gonna make my money, live my life, and enjoy travel, because people want to act like there's something wrong with you.
What I've kind of noticed is that women are making it less and less intriguing for men, or worth it for men, to have kids, because as soon as you have most of the time, luckily I'm not in that situation and I got full custody of my son and everything, but for the most part, like, some guys would rather not have children, because then you're stuck with that person you have kids with forever, and then you never know where they're gonna take you to court, garnish your wages,
exactly,
sue you,
and
put you in jail.
That's what I said. That's where men going their own way. It's an actual movement, MGTOW. That's another hashtag. Look it up. It's a movement. Men are waking up to this bullshit. We don't want to be caught up in this. It's a straight crapshoot. Let me just roll the dice with half of my earnings
for life. For life, at least to 18 years.
And that's just like, the kid is one thing, then the marriage is a whole nother thing. So because the marriage is the kid is like, yeah, you have the kid, you're dedicated to that child for 18 years. Yeah, you must take care of that kid for 18 years. As a responsible human being, that's what I would expect anyone to do. But with the marriage, it's just like, you get into this situation and then it doesn't start going her way, or she starts, like, not wanting to be, all she has to do is just run to the divorce court, and boom, you're done. Men stand a chance in divorce court about as fucking good as black men stand as fucking
Regular
chance in court. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that crucial. Like men go to court. You go to divorce court. You giving up half.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like it's crazy, and they'll get it's just like do you really want to like I see a lot of people who are married, my friends, family members, whatever. And it's just like nothing about it looks appealing to me. Like, and I don't really, I'm not saying that it could never happen for me, but for now, from what I'm looking at and just the way things are going on in the world, I'm keeping it player and just doing my thing and just traveling and living life, because that whole being locked down with somebody and arguing and mad and all that stuff is like, that's just not for me. I'm trying to live life with a smile. And if I find someone that, that's down to do that, hey, we can roll. Let's roll. But right now, it's me and my blunt and my Henny.
Let's talk a little bit more about maybe weed and stuff. Like, what are your thoughts on the current drug culture and how it's still how it keeps kind of coming in and out of popular culture, especially nowadays where it's legal in almost the whole country? And what are your thoughts on the culture, and like, did you ever see it coming this far growing up, smoking weed back
in the day? I mean, shit, where we're at now, yeah, this is like kind of like a dream come true. I always kind of talk about it like, if this is what we used to dream about as kids, we'd be like, man, one day we're gonna be able to walk around and just smoke weed, and like I said, I think it's kind of exceeded what I expected to see to some degree, because you have all these, stores and clinics now, and just everything's just so accessible. Like now, where like you can just walk in a place and get stuff anywhere. Where like, back in the day, you had to have the plug, you had to have a ride, you had to have a lot of shit that had to be going your way that day.
Checks to be,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
Check this, check that,
So,
just to get one sack.
Yeah, exactly.
One sack that was like half a
so like to think now, and then not only that, you're like definitely ducking cops like it's cocaine, because it's like weed was considered the same level of drug back then.
Yeah, category
So
one.
you couldn't really get caught fucking in the car smoking weed, or it's out smoking weed anywhere.
And everybody knew, even back then, everybody knew that was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it was stupid
to be
it was stupid. Everyone knew back then, and that's what was crazy, because like when I grew up, like obviously there was like weed around. Like I remember my pops had the little joint with the zigzag man, and I would always see the little zigzag man and see the little joints, and I would always be like, oh, okay. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was cigarettes or whatever, but then when I started smoking weed years later, I go to smoke with my guys, and I'm like, oh, guy pulls out the bong, and I'm like looking at, what is this contraption, and I'm like, I didn't know what was going on, but I smelled the smell, and I remembered the smell, and we put the bong on the table, then he pulled out a pack, and he put the zigzags down, and it was the same face. I'm like, oh shit,
there go that man
it connected again. Like I remember this face, this is the face my dad used to have. Like, oh, what are we about to smoke? Okay. Then I get really fucking high, and I blow the fucking bong water all over myself, and it's like blah. So it was like, yeah, it was a rookie. It was like my first time really. I had puffed on some weed before, to tried it, but I didn't really get high. Like this time I fucking hit the bong, took a fat rip, went in for the fucking clear, and just coughed into the bong the second time, and just was stuck with bong water all over me for the first time. But it was just like, hey,
bong water is whack.
Bong water is whack, but what better way to get, I guess you could say, baptized into the game, than get bong water on you.
For sure.
You ready to go from there.
All right, let's see. Do you hear it coming in and out on your headphones?
Nah,
just mine.
That's good.
All right, cool. So you've had, who have you like smoked with that's, famous, or like who have you passed a blunt with or been in the same room with smoking before,
Shit, man, I smoked with a lot of people. I smoked with Nate Dogg, R.I.P. I smoked with Snoop. I smoked with Queen Latifah, oddly enough.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that was actually kind of crazy, because we were at the studio one night, and I was with Game, and then one of her security, we were just blowing big weed in the studio, and then one of her security dudes came over and was like, yo, can we buy some weed? You know, and I didn't know who it was for, you know, but Game's like, yo, talk to my cousin right here. And I go over there and I shoot the shit with the dude, go over to their studio, and Queen Latifah's in the studio, and it was for her. And I'm like, oh shit, you know, I didn't even realize that's what I was walking into, you know. I was walking, oh shit. Let's give her like a fucking cool little 7 grams, you know, and she rolled one up, I rolled one up, and smoked one. I was like, that was pretty crazy, because she's super cool, you know. She's in there
She
doing
sang
her
on
thing.
one of the Game's albums, right?
Yeah. She did some shit on there. Who else do I smoke with, man? I smoke with shit. Some I can't say no sports names.
They smoke with.
Yeah, I mean, like, I smoke with a lot of, you know, like you know, just a lot of artists that was dealing with Game at the time, you know. Whenever they would come through, you know, I'd have the trees. So like Jim Jones, you know, a lot of Fab, a lot of different dudes, you know, we've been in the studio with or just around, you know, when we're out on the road, because having weed is just mandatory for us, you know. Like,
Do you feel like you got more respect because you were the weed man than just a regular guy in the crew?
I mean, like, I was the weed man, but then I'm also like, they know I'm his family too, so they like, okay, you know, it's like not just the weed guy. Like, oh, that's my cousin. Talk to my cousin there. Okay, cool. He got it covered. You know what I'm saying? So like, I made a lot of connections and met a lot of, you know, different people who were just, you know, trying to get their smoke on, and just, I was always smoking. You know, our crew, all the homies, we was always smoking, so we just was always putting loud in the air so niggas would smell it, want to get on it, you know. And that's what I said, like, I be in New York, fucking with New York niggas, and, you know, they don't want to give us no props for nothing and shit. We be out there with the gas, you know, like back in the day, straight OG Kush back in the day, you know, and these niggas smoking their little sour diesel, acting like they on and shit, you know. I'm like, that shit's cool, but this shit about to blow your fucking wig off, you know.
Isn't OG like what everybody smokes now? Like, it's like it's a
I feel
hybrid
like,
of it.
I feel like OG Kush to me is like, that's LA's fucking weed. Like, that's our signature weed. Like,
Because isn't a bunch of like the cookies or the Cali plug, like all that shit's intertwined hybrids, and it's all mixed with OG, right? Everything's mixed with OG.
All this new shit. I'm not gonna talk about all this new stuff that's going on, because the game is so wild right now. Everything could be crossed with anything. Could, you know, there's no telling. But back in the day, when I was like saying, like, OG was like, that's what everyone in LA smoked.
Hell
You
yeah.
know, that was our shit. Like, the Bay had, like, back in the day, that shit was like the perp, the granddaddy, you know.
Yeah.
And then, like, they got on the cookies. Once the cookies dropped, now the cookies is like the Bay's weed. You know, yeah, they got cookies and shit down here, but when you go up to the Bay, like, nigga, every nigga hustling up there got some cookies. It's like, and they different strains, and it's fire, and it's like, you know, it's just crazy. That's their shit. You know, like the diesel was New York shit. You couldn't tell a New York nigga nothing about no sour, bro. That was they shit to the death. You know, and they defended that shit. Like, I'm like, all right, bro, you off that sour. I see you.
That's crazy. How many times you been to New York?
I've been there several times, actually. I just got back. I was there like maybe like 2 weeks ago.
What's there to do in New York?
Man, everything, man. New York's the big city, the big apple, you know. So it's a lot going on out there, you know. A lot of clubs, a lot of fucking day parties, a lot of, like, I mean, I'm out there chilling too. A lot of good food. I'm out there chilling with some friends, you know. I go out there, tap in with some friends, and just like go hit all the fire like food spots, you know. Like, gotta hit Cat's Deli when you go out there. That's the fucking most fire pastrami sandwich you'll ever have in your life. Man, it's just, you know, it's the big city, so there's a lot to. I like to go see like a lot of the basketball, like the Cage. You know what I'm saying?
The Rucker.
Let's go check out like some hoop shit. So
That's dope.
there's a lot going on in New York, man. That's what's always cool too. Like, I was in Brooklyn. Brooklyn's kind of changed a bit now. It's not like as hood as it used to be, so it's more like gentrified now. Everything's like more like shopping centers and shit. So it's kind of like a cooler environment where you can like go out and like shop and get some shit. But I also remember 10 years ago, nigga, being able to you getting shot at on this block, you know, because you out here running around like it's all good now because they done built some new shit. But
Let's talk a little bit about the difference in rap culture now, where when you were like, you know, rolling with Game, and then Game was like one of one of people. I feel like he doesn't get enough props, man. I feel like he was running the West for a while, years. I feel like he was the best artist out of the West, and for a minute.
He brought back the West. Like it was like
literally, bro, from the dead, bro.
From when everybody was like that post Tupac era, from like '96 to like 2003. You know, there was nobody really other than Snoop. You know, Snoop and Nate and whatever was Snoop related, you know, was really the only thing getting like pumped out of the West, you know. With the exception of the you know, here and there, but like nobody was like really. It was all Snoop. You know, and then what was happening on the radios? We had the Ja Rule, the DMX, the you know, everybody, the Nellies, the you know, everybody with the bandanas a different way, how they wear you know, the game just changed a little bit, and it shifted to the Atlantas and to the Houstons and to the New York a little bit. You know, it was just like, and we didn't really have nobody like spitting, like, because we were just, you know, we were known for that gangster shit, that gangster flow, that
and then we had like Eminem and 50 Cent.
But they weren't like West Coast.
They weren't West Coast, but they were stamped by Dr. Dre.
They were doing their thing, but they were just Dre related. So yeah. I won't put them in the West Coast category.
They're definitely not on the West Coast, because but like we felt a little bit more like, all right, we got somebody, because this is Dr. Dre Aftermath related.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, that, as far as them like being under Dre, that helped as far, you know, like, but like I'm talking about like when it came to just rapping in general, like
Game, but the Game was a different.
When he came in with the bars, like his mixtape shit before was just like crazy, you know, like it was really like raw. It was like he had like a New York feel. Everybody was just tripping on the style. He was lyrical, but he was like West Coast. But he had, you know, he was just switching it up. You know, it was like he was giving you this like real LA like gangster shit that was like, damn, we ain't had that fucking raw shit in a while, you know. So when he dropped, I was like, yeah.
Everybody got behind him.
Everybody got behind him because it was just like the breath of fresh air that the West needed. Yeah, now that with that being said, that's where all the fucking Kendrick, J-Rock, Nipsey. Like, when Game was first getting on, that's when all these dudes, I remember all these dudes were just young niggas, like Kendrick in the little burgundy van, J-Rock coming to the block, you know, because we was all in the same little neighborhood, pretty much. Not Nipsey. Nipsey was over there off Slauson, but, like, Kendrick and J-Rock was not far away. You know, and they was right there, and then they knew Game was, you know, doing his thing, so people was trying to get with him to, you know, so it was like, it was a lot of shit going on, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I was watching like the unfolding of Kendrick way before, like, you know, when he was K-Dot, when J-Rock was the like original TDE main artist, you know, and K-Dot was J-Rock's little sidekick, but like for some reason or some, you know, J-Rock shit didn't pan out right away. And then Kendrick fucking, you know, K-Dot changed his name to Kendrick, and then he just blew up. But I always knew I could listen back in the day when they used to freestyle, like, I could always listen to Kendrick and be like, this nigga got something special about his little wordplay and shit. And Nipsey too. So I watched all these dudes, like, you know, as Game was like blowing up, I watched all them come like right, all the work they put in, I was like, you know, right there seeing all that shit too, to get where they are now. So it's like, it's good to see that, you know, Game was that like rebirth of the West Coast that we needed, and then from that pumped out Kendrick, pumped out Nipsey, pumped out, you know, a lot of different acts that we got now.
Were you around when he was with G Unit? How long was he with G Unit?
He was with G Unit for
maybe a year?
A couple years, I think 2 years or something like that.
You're around 50 and everything.
Yeah, I was around that whole situation.
But it was all like, they were like real, like, from your point of view, like everybody was cool. They were homies, or it was just straight business.
It was like shit. It was like business, but it was like, yeah, it was like business for sure. But then there was a lot of hood shit that was into it too, though, because like 50 was just, you know, he was like, when he came to the West Coast, he would like have the Grape Street niggas like roll with him, you know, So like right off the bat, like we got, that's a problem because we're all Bloods, and 50 pulls up and he's got a bunch of Grape Street niggas with him. So it's like, it's not a problem, but it's like friction, unnecessary friction that wasn't needed, So it was never really like, I don't want to say Game and 50 were homies, but they was, they was doing their thing because like Dre wanted to put that little, that little sound together that was good because you had 50 and Yayo and Lloyd Banks on that New York shit, Game on that LA shit, and then Buck on that South shit, and it was just a really really strong little fucking fantastic fucking team of of coast to coast lyricists going on, and they could all spit. So if you really you really go back to it, like 50 could spit on the mixtapes, he was killing. Yayo and Banks are always fucking, raw. And then Buck was like probably the least talented, but he would still give you some, he would give you just that country swag at least,
Yeah, he has swag for sure.
So, and then Game jump on there and do the West Coast thing, how he do. So it was just it was a really strong shit. And like I have some songs that were like unreleased that are still like bangers that I slapped that are just, Game, 50, Young Buck, and Yayo, all on one, and all on one track. Like shit. Like if they got back together and did it one more time, shit, they might have some.
That was a real crazy rap group type thing.
Yeah.
That everybody wanted to happen, but for whatever reason.
Yeah, it was just timing. Everything was.
Do you remember like the moment where like for sure, it was over and there was no coming back?
Yeah, that was when the shit that happened in New York. We was out there doing some promo shit, doing a couple little shows and doing some radio interviews and shit. And Game we had just gotten back from overseas actually. So we was overseas and we was hearing some kind of bullshit story like when we was overseas that they were saying that like Game and 50 was having some kind of like beef or some shit.
But you guys didn't know about.
We didn't even know like it wasn't even possible because Game was in fucking Europe at the time. So we in Europe and then we seeing this story, we checking the little fucking hip hop sites and shit whatever. So we like, what the fuck? So when we get back, we get back to the United States, we stop in New York. And we gotta do a couple radio stops, promos.
For the album or for a single?
Just for like, just for like, just cause he's like, he's buzzing. The album's like probably like about to come out. He's just, making his little, doing back in those days too. You had to go through New York and just get on the radio and just, that's just what it was. So we out there and then they're asking him. We go to he goes to Power 106 first, and we sitting over there doing the interview, blah blah blah, and then 50's we downstairs in the lobby listening, and then 50's at Hot 97. So we sitting there smoking, switching back and forth.
Who was on the radio back then, like Funk Flex, or who were they with? You don't remember?
I don't even remember, to be honest. It might have been Funk Flex, but I'm not 100% sure. But we sitting there, we switching back and forth, both stations, listening to Game, listening to 50, listening to Game, listening to 50. So then they start asking Game like, oh yeah, what is this we hear about, you and 50 been having some kind of problems and da-da-da-da-da and all this shit. And then Game just answers the questions like, yeah, like, I don't know what y'all talking about. Like, we ain't really, as far as me and 50, like everything's cool. Like the only problems we've ever had maybe is creative differences, like in the studio, like just some shit we didn't agree on and we fixed it or whatever the fuck, like that. So then we switching back to the other radio station and then Game, like they asked 50 the same question and then 50 like answered that shit like, oh, Game been dancing to his own beat, doing his own thing, like, he might not be under the G Unit umbrella much longer.
Well, you know how 50 is, man. He'll say it a certain way where he's like,
so he said it like, super sly. So like when he said that shit, like immediately, like the homies told, went upstairs and told Game what was being said. Then this nigga was like, okay, well, let's push over to Hot 97. We gonna go over there.
How deep are you guys?
Let me get on the radio. We was about 30 deep.
30 deep?
All Bloods,
Rolling in what, like a fucking bus?
We had like 2 buses, 2 little like Sprinter vans, like, and then like a couple of the other homies that was like our New York homies that pulled up, they had like SUVs, you know, so niggas was just piled in. We just caravanned, you know. But when the shit popped off and game was like, let's go over there, one of my homies, my little homie Peanut from Cedar Block, this nigga, he took off. He heard what was about to go on. Like once he figured out that we was about to go over there to Hot 97, he jumped in a cab
Like, fuck
and
this
said,
shit.
take me to Hot 97. And like, so like when we went upstairs to tell this nigga, he jumped in the cab and left. So by the time we're getting over there, we're like 5 minutes away. He's hitting us on the next tail like chirping, get over here, blood. They tripping, da 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 da. Before we even get there, so I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, there's something going on already before we even get there.
And you're behind the enemy lines and shit.
So and we in New York, yeah, exactly. So it's snowing outside, you know, it's fucking crazy snow. We all out there in fucking Jordans and fucking Chucks and shit. We ain't even dressed for New York, right? You know, it was horrible. But we're LA niggas. That's how we do it. We ain't changing up for nobody.
J's in the fucking
J's,
snow.
you know, and khakis and shit. But so we pull up and it's like
Khakis in the snow.
it's like
That's crazy.
30 of us hop out. You know, just the little homies out there turned up. We don't see nobody outside. No one's outside.
What does it look like? It's a big ass.
It's
like
a big
building?
ass building with
Skyscraper?
like the mirror windows, you know. So you know it's a big New York building in Manhattan. So we was out there like
Busy ass street.
the street wasn't really too busy at the time for some reason. I
Right.
noticed that there was not many cars out, but the shit's going. You know, we out here. I see the homie. He's turned up. We don't see nobody outside, so we're like, what happened? Like, what are you all amped up about? And he was like, I guess somebody came out and he got into an altercation with one of the dudes, and they went into the building. So when they went into the building, we standing outside. Game like tries to walk in, they locked the door, so they're not letting him in the building. Like Game, and Game's like telling them like, I'm just trying to get on the air. I'm not trying to cause no problems. You know, I just want to come address the situation. So we look in the fucking window and it's like a bunch of like officers, like police officers
Inside already.
inside. And then there's a bunch of like 50 homies too. Like there's like New York niggas.
You
and there's,
recognize them? Like
poli-
you know who they are? And
No,
like,
but you could just tell
you
by
could
the way they
tell.
were dressed that they were like entourage niggas, you know, and they weren't like. Then there was like other niggas that were like police niggas, the way they were dressed, you know. So it was like they were like staying in that little lobby area, not coming out.
He had the hip hop cops with him.
Man, he had somebody with him, somebody that was like professionals. They were professionals because he had the hood niggas, but they sent out the hood nigga. So we sitting out there, and I keep telling the homie like back up from the window. My other boys keep telling him back up, you know, because he's all amped up. He's a little nigga from Compton. He ain't never been out the hood, you know, so he's just
First time.
out of it, and shit's going crazy, and he's ready to, you know, and it's like, yo, just chill, get away from that door. As soon as you say get away from that door, one time, one of these little New York niggas walk out, and he got the puffy fucking jacket on. He's got his hands in his pockets and shit. And I'm just looking at this nigga because I'm like, man, this nigga up to something, you know. And he don't say nothing, and he's just like looking around.
And you guys just like spread out.
And we're like
30 deep?
we're like 30 deep, standing like we're standing all around him. Game's right there, everyone's right there. You know, like
How far away are you guys from?
like he's probably standing from here. My boy Peanut is right there where this dude's at. You know, maybe that's 8 feet. So we're all in this fucking big crowd, and he just fucking boom, boom. We just see the fucking feathers start flying from his puffy coat. He fired the gun from inside the jacket.
Damn.
And just hit my boy Peanut 3 times, like in the fucking waist and shit. Didn't hit him like in the heart or in the head or nothing, but it was like, you know, got him like in the leg and like the nuts and like one time in like the hip, you know, like. So he lived, thank God, but he was like down, you know. He's fucking, it's snowing now. It's like, bam, the shots fired, niggas start scattering, you know. Couple homies making sure he's good. They laying there, they trying to make sure they don't get fucking shot too. And then from there, it was like, we went from like being 30 deep to just like groups of like 2 or 3 scattered. Now I'm lost in New York. I felt like fucking Kevin from Home Alone. You know what I'm saying? Literally lost in New York, bro. Like, I just been shot at. I'm rolling with two other my boys. They don't know what the fuck to do. You know, I'm fucking over here with there's no fucking GPS or no fucking maps or shit. We're on the Nextels.
Yeah, no iPhones.
So there's none of that, you know. So we out here I'm running down the street. It's snowing. I start seeing these G Unit trucks like circling the neighborhood, like, and every time they they literally sent out like G Unit SUVs, and they was just driving around, and I was like, they'd see us running down the street, and they started zooming towards us. We'd have to cut down the block. So we was literally on foot, just running through the streets of New York. I had no idea where I was going, and then I just had to just stay in contact with a bunch of my boys through the Nextel. We were just chirping back and forth till we figured.
On the Nextel, can you do group chats, or you got to go
No,
one by one?
No, one by one.
One by one. Yeah, if I remember that.
My Nextel's blowing the fuck up because I'm getting hit from every fucking different group of homies. You know, like they're everyone who's chiming in. So I'm like, fuck. And I'm hearing everything. Okay, cool. And then finally game hits us like, yo, everybody just fucking go to the fucking airport. We're flying out tonight. It's all been arranged. Just get to the airport. We're like, all right, cool. So now I'm on this fucking mission. I have to go get into a taxi cab and go to the W Hotel in Times Square because that's where all my fucking shit's at. I have to go in there. I get a taxi cab. Fucking trying to fucking sit low over there, you know, because I know that they've already put like an APB out for like this nigga and his whole crew. So any of us are gonna get fucking stopped, or, you know, we pull up to the W Hotel that's just crawling with cops out front because that's where we were staying at, you know. So cops are all out in the front. I'm like sitting low in the taxi cab, like, fuck. I tell the nigga, like, just bust a little right down the little street. There's a little restaurant on the side of the hotel, and there was a doorway that you can go in. So I begged the taxi driver to just wait right here 10 minutes. I'm just going to go get my bags. I'll be right back. But I had to like sneak through this restaurant, sneak into the hotel, which is like a bus because you have to go up this big stairway. It's crazy, you know, and I'm sticking out like a sore thumb, LA nigga in New York, fearing for my life. You know, just trying.
And you're fucking 6'4".
And exactly, I'm not no small ass dude, you know, and wearing red doesn't help either, you know. So,
bright red, 6'4".
So it was just like, it was a whole situation. But luckily, nobody said shit. I got in and out, got my shit, got to the airport, and got home. But it was a crazy. That was like a wild experience in New York.
And then you knew, like, from that moment on that it was gonna be beef, and there's no coming back.
From that moment on, it was done. Yeah.
What happened? What did you guys do as soon as you guys got back in LA? Like the GU Not records started coming out, and what was the movement after that? How'd you guys feel?
Game definitely, like, he hit a fucking he went straight to the mixtapes, of course.
Went straight to the studio.
Straight to the mixtape, and then dropped I forget the name of the mixtape, but he has a song on there called Down, and he just talks about where he goes over that Kanye and Cameron beat, and he just basically tells the exact story similar to what I just told you, you know, like, but in a song version of, you know, everything that went down, you know, because he's like, yeah, we were just trying to come down, you know, we was just trying to come down, we wasn't trying to, you know, start no drama. He's like, I just want to see what's going down, you know, like, that's it. You know, I want to see why you was talking crazy. You wasn't trying to.
And then you being around 50 and the whole situation, and being in the studio and knowing game and knowing how music and labels and records work. Like, why do you think they didn't let Game in? Why couldn't he just come in and talk? Was 50 scared?
Because of the whole gang element.
They were just scared.
Because of the whole gang element. Because they already knew. Like, you know, they knew that no matter what they do, you know, like, that, just letting a bunch of niggas in a building like that ain't gonna be good. Even if they like, you know, are coming on some peaceful shit. Yeah, because Game can't control all these motherfuckers, man. He's just out here, you know. It's 30 different attitudes, 30 different personalities. All it takes is one person to just jump.
All right, when Game was trying to walk in the building, did everyone got out at the same time, and it looked like all you guys were gonna come in, or you guys just stood in the cars?
It was already. Whatever happened with my boy Peanut, there was already an altercation that went down before we got there. So I'm sure that the people at the building were already on alert, because this little nigga in a fucking red Phillies hat with a Keep It Compton shirt on and red Chucks on outside of their building,
damn,
acting crazy, you know? I swear to God, the nigga had a shirt that said Keep It Compton. That's my nigga. He's straight Compton nigga, you know? He's locked up right now, man. Free my nigga Peanut, man. Fuck.
That's dope. Free Peanut. All right, so then you guys get back to LA. That shit goes down. What's the next move? What's the call?
Man, it was like, the mixtape dropped. The G-Not shirts went crazy.
Bro, I was the biggest G-Not fan.
We was like, it was like crazy. We just started, because we was already into making the silk screens. We had the Got Game tees. We was doing all that shit back in the day. So when the G-Not shirts dropped, though, that's when shit started getting wild, like with the orders, because everyone was like, everyone who was really with the fucking hip-hop, with the bars and shit, they was like, yeah, fuck that shit. Fuck.
Bro, and those shirts will pop up everywhere. Plaza Mexico.
But they was like...
swap meets.
Yeah,
full.
Everywhere. They was like, they started bootlegging them and shit after a while.
For sure,
but,
sure.
We had the original ones with the rat on the back, with the fucking... the rat crossed out on the back. Those are the OG ones from back in the day, yeah, man.
Bro, those mixtapes were like...
Yeah, we got back to, just started pushing that shit, and it was just like some real... fuck 50 shit after that, and that's when game was just going raw on the mixtapes with the Ghost Unit and the You Know What It Is Volume 3 and the 300 bars and
300 bars,
he was
bro.
just,
he went like 120, 240, then fuck it.
Yeah, he was just going crazy, because that's what it is. It's like, man, he's lyrical, bro. Like,
and then he'll switch the beat midway into the song, like throw another beat on there after fucking, and he'll just keep flowing seamlessly.
Cause like that's what it's about, man. Like hip hop is about being able to showcase your fucking ability to spit. Like a lot of these new dudes, when
was the last time someone did like 300 bars, bro?
Like I don't,
it's probably been 10 years.
There's a lot of rappers that can do it,
but who has like done it to that level?
I don't think no one's done it to that level because what he did was take some of the most classic beats we've ever seen too, and just he just killed that. That's his shit. Like
who can stay on a beat with no chorus, no hook, and just flow and have everybody listen?
You can go back to like the very first one he did was 100 bars. You probably I don't even know if you might not have heard that one, but that was on the You Know What It Is Volume 1 mixtape, and he's ripping over one of Jay-Z beats, and he is just cooking this shit, man. I'm talking about it was 100 bars and running it, but it's like Game in his most raw form and shit. And he has
the 300 bars was like 20 minutes long, wasn't it?
Yeah,
20 minutes.
So 300, then there was like 200.
So the 100 is 10 minutes. It's like 10 minutes.
It was like 6 or 7 minutes, and then like the 200 was like 12.
Yeah.
300 was like 20.
Bro, then we'll put it on repeat. Like do it again, and we'll listen to it again, bro.
Yeah. So and I was right there like when he was writing this shit, because it was just like. We was at the studio. He's just,
They're home studios, or they're like professional places you guys would rent out?
He'd have both. He'd have access to like major studios that are like with the fucking rich fucking
big ass
millionaire fucking engineer nigga right here that is just can fix anything right there on the spot. And then he would have the home studio too with the homies that knew how to do the shit too. So.
What's part of his like creative process? Is he drinking? Is he smoking? He has to have the homies in there. Likes to be quiet. Like what have you noticed that kind of gets him going?
He usually has a cool little vibe going. Like drinks and like some food. Smoke's always welcome. So it's the pretty standard like
Bitches or no bitches?
There's always bitches.
Do you keep the bitches there the whole time, or do they kind of come in, do the thing, then you gotta get them out?
They some of them, I've seen some there just hanging. I've seen some there get thrown out. I've seen fucking, his assistants get thrown out. It just depends on the vibe he's on.
He threw out his own assistants?
Yeah, he's throwing them out before,
For what, tripping on the smoke or something?
No, he actually threw them out one time because I think he had some like some dope R&B singer there to do some vocals, and like they didn't get him a drink because they were all outside smoking weed or something like that. Like he don't have a problem with them smoking weed, but like
do your job.
They ain't supposed to all be out smoking weed at the same time.
Leave somebody back.
So he was like, he told him to he like yelled out for like one of the assistants to get him a drink, and then nobody responded.
You don't want to say who that R&B singer was?
Nah.
Is he popping?
He's still popping here?
He's an OG, let's just say that.
All right.
OG in the game.
Like West Coast OG or like young dude?
Nah, just like a old school OG.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. Those, like I said, crazy stories, Crazy stories.
Yeah. This is, it's just
you got to see firsthand.
It's just the music scene in LA and Hollywood is just crazy, you know.
But
So,
to my original question was like the difference between like that's a classic West Coast East Coast beef. That beef almost got to the level of Tupac and Biggie. Like Game versus 50 could have easily been Tupac Biggie.
yeah.
But with the experience that, you know, both coasts have had, and over time, you know, they eventually squashed it for publicity's sake.
Yeah,
But it's
I
not
think
completely.
it was just like it was a different time in hip hop. So like, you know, I don't think it was ever gonna escalate to like Pac and Biggie, but it was definitely like on some.
But there were some people who wanted it and
some,
thought
on
it
some
was.
street shit though. On some street shit, it was always, like I said, it was always brewing because 50 always had Crips with them, you know.
And then 50 was a troll, bro. He's
So,
been
like-
a troll since back then. He's a troll right now. He
Yeah.
loves us, you know?
Yeah,
He knows he's a great marketer.
He knows, yeah, exactly. So like he knew, you know,
Stir the pot.
what was good, stir the pot, and then like shit too. But that's why it was like once he got killed, like lyrically he couldn't respond to Game. Like there was nothing 50 could say lyrically that could outmatch what Game was doing, and that was the point Game was trying to make. That's it. That was the bottom line. Yeah, okay, you can Photoshop me and just make all these little stupid pictures or whatever, but when it came to the bars, you know, we never heard 50 come back and kill Game on no lyrical shit. You know, like it just the beef went on and then it died and then that was it. But that was it. Bars wise, like Game won the bars.
If you think about it, like some of that beef and the artwork that came out through both sides was like kind of like the birthplace of memes in a way, you know, just trolling.
Trolling, that was like back in the days when like memes were first starting to hit too. So
The Photoshop game was, you know,
the Photoshop game, yeah,
was
that's
pretty strong back then.
I never knew how to use Photoshop. I've always just I just went to the meme apps. Once I got a hold of the meme apps, it was over. You know, like that was it.
That's crazy, man. But what do you think about? Have you heard about the Tory Lanez and what's his name, Joyner Lucas? Have you heard about that beef?
I've heard about it. I haven't heard.
They're both getting down those beats, bro.
I haven't heard it though. I haven't heard the lyrics, but I do know that if I were to pick one or the other, I would definitely pick. I would favor Joyner over Tory, but
without hearing anything.
without hearing anything.
Bro, let me tell
So-
you, these songs, they're worth a listen.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it. I just
Even
haven't.
Tory.
I haven't had a chance to catch up because I've just been.
Because
you know,
Lucas
on the move
got
and shit.
bars, straight bars are like.
Yeah, no, I
But
fuck
Tory,
with Lucas.
his flow, his cadences are just like so
Yeah.
silky smooth, bro.
Yeah, no, I feel it.
He's silky.
I feel it. I gotta check it out. I haven't got into it yet, but I've been traveling and shit a little bit. So
What do you think about these? What do you think about the Canadian rappers? Are they got both feet in the door in the hip hop room, or they still got things to prove, or do you think the Canadians are? Is it another? You know how like Atlanta had us, you know, put their flag down
Yeah.
in the Midwest and then West Coast, and then it started in New York. Do you think, you know, Toronto or Canada has officially made it?
I mean, they got some fly artists coming out of there. You know, and Drake's putting it up, put the stamp down for all of Canada and shit. So I would definitely say, you know, I don't know about.
You been in Toronto?
Nah, actually, I haven't.
I want to go to Toronto, bro.
I haven't been to anywhere in Canada because I heard it's just like kind of crazy trying to get in there. Like,
Customs.
yeah, they be checking your history all crazy and shit. So, gotta see what's good. I haven't had a chance to get up there though.
Yeah, I need to make my way out there and see what's
But
up.
I mean, I think they definitely making some noise right now. You know, Drake got the little OVO niggas popping. Shit,
The OVO sweatshop.
OVO sweatshop. You know,
What have you heard about the sweatshop?
I mean, shit.
Because they got a few people signed,
Yeah.
but no one's really popping like.
Yeah, no one's buzzing yet, but
Like
we gotta
Drake.
just. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna take a while for anyone to just pop like that. But
Is it unfair to be like? Sometimes is it like maybe against? Is it wrong to sign to a label that has such a huge artist? It's kind of like a black hole that sucks
think,
all the hits.
I think sometimes, cause like, sometimes what people don't realize is like the artist is like meant to be a single entity. You know, it's like, yeah, there's people that want to be, you know, branching off with a label mates, or you know, whatever you have it signed to the label. But that doesn't always like translate. You know, like your talent doesn't always like is and definitely going to be hard to compete because you got somebody who's on this spectacular superstar level, moving hundreds of thousands of units, and then you put out an album
Millions.
under the label, you know, and it doesn't do as well, and that's like expected because like, you know, unless it's just like.
But the people who've done it successfully would be like Dr. Dre brought out Snoop Dogg, who brought out DPG, who brought out this.
I mean,
and then you got
you got a handful of legends that have done it. Well,
right? Eminem brought out G Unit.
Yeah.
You got who else? Jermaine Dupri brought out Usher, Lil
Dre
Bow Wow.
got Kendrick. Shit.
You know, like the heritage, that lineage. But is that something that's kind of old school hip hop, and you should really kind of make your own label and do your own thing, especially with the access we have to the internet, SoundCloud, and Twitter and YouTube?
I mean, I think if you can make
if
money,
you were rapping and you thought you had bars and you were the next, and you had so much confidence and you knew you were the next one popping, would you sign to a huge label if you had the chance, like Dre or some, you know, Def Jam, or would you go the independent route, like kind of Nipsey?
I'm going the Nipsey route.
Yeah.
I want all my fucking funds.
All of it to yourself.
All money in. I want all my shit. Shout out my nigga Nipsey. You know, we gonna get this money, bro. I don't want no fucking
And you
Jewish.
you said you knew Nipsey from.
Yeah. I fuck with him. One of my boys is his I don't know his manager, but he works close with him. My boy George Paniche. Shout out my nigga George. But yeah, we fucking we be out there every time Nipsey comes to the Bay, does some shit out there. You know, my nigga hits me up, lets me know. I slide through to the show, go fuck with him and shit. It's always love. So Nipsey always been cool.
When you go to shows like that in your hometown, do you feel like obligated to bring a pack with you of loud, or you just bring personals?
I bring, you know, I always got a pack with me usually, so just be smoking. Like, I ain't even trying to make money, shit, I just be smoking, you know, like, should be out here like, all right, got a little pack, shit, who wants to roll up? Cool, we good, you know, oh, you need a little something? All right, shit, whatever, you know. Everyone, like, in my circle, you know, we all puff trees, so everyone's got trees. It's good to have, especially when you go into a concert like that, too. You gotta have, like, at least 5-10 rolled up, you know? You don't want to be out there trying to be breaking shit down.
Yeah.
You know,
how many grams do you put in your blunts nowadays?
Man, I gotta put, like, at least, if you ain't putting at least 2.5 grams in the backwood, you are a bitch ass nigga. That is the bottom line.
It's a different game, bro. When I was smoking
2.5 grams is the minimum, like an eighth, really, like, you know. But
I'm 28. I stopped smoking when I was 24, but I was getting really heavy in the game, like 21, like anywhere from like 16 to 21. I was smoking like 10, 15 blunts a day, bro. And we used to smoke swishers, and you really can't fit that much weed in the swisher.
Nah.
But now motherfuckers are smoking backwards, and these motherfuckers are big, bro.
Yeah, man.
Like, I think you could probably fit 4 or 5 grams in that bitch.
Cause you could roll it.
It'll
really
be a
fat.
waste. I think so.
You could roll them really fat. You could roll 7 grams in it if you gangster with it.
I think it'll be a waste. So burn way too fast.
The thing about it is, like, you know, the backwood is just a different type of cigar paper, you know, and it's more. It tastes better, and you can roll fatter blunts, you know, than the fucking swishers. Swishers do be on that bullshit. I was like never really a huge fan of swishers, you know.
You know what? I went to Swishers, and you remember the blunt wraps? We used to have double XLs,
I used to
double
smoke
XL
the blunt wraps, yeah.
Yeah, double XL blunt wraps.
The wet mango blunt wraps.
Oof.
Yeah, the
or
blueberries.
Blueberry.
Yeah.
Bro, yeah, and I'll just tear off a little piece and then leave the rest of it, and then boom,
and you
fat
can
ass
roll
blunts.
it as fat as you want.
Yep.
Yeah, see, I've always rolled like that, rolled fat blunts, so that skinny shit never really worked for me. That's why you see niggas now. If you see a nigga with a skinny backwood, bro, run. Run, because that nigga ain't trying to do shit but make you dizzy, you know? Like, nigga be out here having this skinny ass backwood overlapped, like, nigga, no.
Too much tobacco.
You gotta put more weed, you know? Like, shit. I don't like niggas who smoke like that, skimp like smokers and shit.
Let's put some. There's people out there that only smoke weed when they're around weed smokers, and they don't know the proper etiquette when you're rolling, when you're in the presence of someone who smokes weed every day for the last 15, 20 years. And let's drop a little bit of knowledge on these, you know, people from out of state, people who weren't born in LA, people who are coming from different parts of the country, different countries, different states, that want to pull up to LA and think they're chilling because they're fucking moving to a little studio in Santa Monica or Hollywood. But tell these out of town, you know, folk, what's the proper etiquette to roll a blunt or weed etiquette, you know what I mean? You know exactly what I'm saying.
Man, you gotta First of all, if you're gonna be rolling blunts out here, yeah, you definitely gotta have your weed quality. Quality is the main thing.
First step.
So number one, don't roll anything that's not loud. If it ain't loud, and I mean loud like motherfucker, you open it and it fucking stinks up. That's the number one thing. Second, you gotta make sure you, like I said, you have the enough, 2.5, 3 grams at least for a backwood. Anything less than that is, nah, you can't do that. That's against the rules. So you gotta also make sure you have your rolling game down, because you don't want to be out here with no bumpy ass blunt. Niggas don't be handing me no shit that be looking like no fucking log I found in the forest.
Remember back in the day when you would the homie that didn't know how to roll blunts would roll a blunt, and then you're smoking that shit and you hear a pop, like what the fuck, and then you see a stem
then
poking
you got
out.
the fucking hole, yeah, man.
You gotta use that, and you gotta smoke that shit like a flute. You gotta put your fingers over it.
I always kind of try to dominate that situation throughout the weed.
Let me roll
it up, because that's what I started with. I started with blunts. I didn't know how to roll joints till I was like 21.
I still think
22.
joints are harder. Blunts to me is a breeze.
Yeah, it's just easier. So I was like starting with them old school Phillies and just cracking them bitches open, and just bam.
How many puffs before you pass if you're in a circle? If someone passes you the blunt, how long can you stay with it?
I'm like to the point where if I'm in a circle of people where it's like I'm outdoors, people I don't know, I'll make sure niggas is puff passing and getting that shit around. But if it's just like me and a couple of my boys, like shit, I don't really. We on some big weed shit, so we don't really.
It's like personal blunts.
Not like personal blunts, but it's like shit. And if I want to sit here and hit it 5 times and then pass it to you and you hit it 5 times, I'm not gonna like sweat.
You're not throwing the flag.
Oh yeah, I'm not throwing the flag.
Flag on the play.
I'll throw the flag if it's somebody that I don't know, or we like I said, we out at a function or some shit, and it's like, all right, nigga, 2, 3, all right, I don't know you like that.
Yeah.
If you my boy, it just depends. That's how I've always been with my like smoking people out situation. Is like I'll smoke people out, like, if you my niggas, hey, we smoking. Anybody who knows, who kicks it with me, knows if you chilling with me, you inadvertently high, even if you don't want to get high.
Yeah, I have a huge contact high right now.
So
you just smoked
like,
up like a fucking 8.
Yeah, exactly. So I just be, it's not a big thing for me to share, but I don't like people that just think because they see somebody rolling the blunt and they just think, let me hit that. It's like, nah, nigga. First of all, I don't know you like that. Second of all, back up, bitch ass nigga. I don't know what your breath's smelling like today. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know you brush your teeth.
That shit don't smell organic. If you brush them teeth, I see a little plaque on there. I don't think I need that in my life.
All right, let's get into some current events. Recently we've heard a lot about Tekashi not being the best of friends with people on the West Coast, and you being from the West Coast and being connected. What are your thoughts on things he's had, things that he's saying about people on the West Coast, or just the general feeling that, or energy he's putting out? And then we'll talk a little bit about the Fed case afterwards.
I think he's definitely trying to call attention to himself, but I don't think that's the smartest way to go about it, like, especially with LA dudes, like, you seen what happened at the airport and what happened at the, the little complex con recently. He's just, he's pushing buttons that, I don't feel like he needs to go that route to be a successful artist. He seems to have some cool little, songs that are buzzing for his little audience, and what he gets out of doing that, I don't really know. But, I think he's really on some troll shit. That's just to be honest. So,
but can you blame him a little bit? Like, coming from a place where you're trying to make it out of the slums and you're trying to, like, really make a name for yourself and feed your daughter and, like, do things like that. Can you really hate against his angle?
I mean,
how much dirt can you throw on his angle? Like, what do you think about it?
I don't really like. I mean, it's just unnecessary. That's my thing. It's like, so I'm not gonna like hate on it or say like throwing dirt on his angle. It's just like, there's no reason for you to do that, for you to be successful and feed your daughter. You got plenty of, buzz and plenty of, probably got fans in the West Coast that would not appreciate you, you know, coming at them disrespecting like that, disrespecting the whole movement, you know, everything, the gangster shit that we got going on out here. It's already like a violation, low key, because you like super banging blood and shit, all this shit in New York, and niggas over here don't know about that shit, you know, like, so y'all just over there with some made up signs and some made up little flags and
This
shit.
is not the first time though that somebody has tried to boost up their rap game or street cred by being co-signed or being stamped by a gang at a later age, where typically most gang members or gangbangers, they typically join the hood or the gang at a very young age and put up and earn their stripes throughout life, where nowadays it seems kind of normal to be make it easy to get a stamp from a reputable, you know, criminal organization and then be able to scream and say certain things that most people can't say.
Like every street nigga, like, you know, it's like every rapper wants to be like, have that like credibility, you know. They just want to be out there, like,
because there's certain checklists that you got to be like, have enough your resume has to have enough years on it.
Yeah.
Who can you call? Who are your references?
Yeah.
What are your qualifications and accomplishments? And then we're gonna listen to your bars. But that's if you take the gangster route in your music.
Yeah, exactly.
If you take that route, you gotta have those checks.
Exactly, because like people want to know, like, is this like
Fabricated,
are you
fake.
speaking what you really say? You can't be yelling out shit from these streets and this neighborhood or that, you know, talking that shit, because people will, you know, they will.
And at the
pull your
same
card.
time, bro, like when it comes to bars and it comes to rap, like if you're gonna come in and be a rapper, you might be one of the most hoodest gangster people that's affiliated from bloodline and everything. But if you join the rap game and all you rap about, like all you do is snitch on yourself, all you're doing, bro, all he did was snitch on himself about certain things, and now we all gotta feel sorry for him.
I mean, like,
up.
That's
not real
like,
gangster shit. I'm just saying, no one really snitches on himself like that.
There's really like, you know, there's not a lot of real gangster shit going on left in the world these days. So you just gotta start there. This whole fucking video phone, camera phone era, you know, these niggas is doing everything, recording everything they do, telling on themselves and the lyrics and everything else. These stupid little online going live rants, you know, these niggas be just giving themselves up, you know. So
bro, they're like the prosecution, the DA doesn't even have to like
they don't even
try,
gotta,
bro.
They don't even gotta work no
They're
more.
like, judge, watch this, watch this, watch this.
Yeah, so it's crazy. Like, these people are just, you know, obsessed with this whole like recording everything they do, and it comes back to bite them in the ass. And it's like, yeah, we don't have to feel bad for them, you know. It's like, that's, you know, like, I never was like overwhelmed or like blown away by like Tekashi 6ix9ine, so it was like, I kind of like feel like I'm like too old to be even really listening to his type of shit.
You know
anyway.
what, Mike? I got a young homie that he's not. I'm 28 and he's like 23, 24. He put me on Tekashi like 8 months ago. I was like, you know what? I'm not really into the screaming shit. I can't hear what he's saying.
Like,
the
I've heard
beat's cool.
like I've heard a couple tracks that are like, you know, like once I heard his style, okay, I heard a few songs, and I've heard like the main song that he dropped, and then a couple hits after that, and I'm like, okay, this is the vibe. He's always with the yelling shit, but I haven't heard like anything about him that's like overwhelmingly dope as an artist. Like,
but you know what got me? Because I'm full blood Mexican, you know, from the roots down.
Yeah.
Whatever, crossed the border a couple times with grandparents to parents to get over here. Like, it's a real, it hits me in the heart whenever somebody claims, you know, oh, this fool's Mexican. It's like automatically I have to back him up. So I'm like, all right, let me take a listen to his music. I wasn't the hugest fan, but then this fool went to fucking Mexico. He showed up to a fucking pueblo, like a little, like our city where we live, we're ghetto. We have concrete streets though. We have buildings, we have houses, we got public housing, we got help from the government. Yeah. He went to a pueblo where it's like third world shit. And he just started handing out hundreds to street kids, old people, and like people that look like my uncle, people that look like my cousin, people that look like my dad. And that really, like, all right, you know, open, like he's also a great marketer. Like, he's a great promoter to promote his own brand.
Well, that's what I say. Like, I think it's all, like, all of the shit he's doing, Not even that's a great act, and much respect to that.
It could be all fake, but at the end of the day, like
but
those bills are real.
I'm saying, yeah, no, definitely. That's no, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is like, it's all different. Just like timing. Like this could be, it was a great time for him to do that because it's a good look. He's already getting, and then yeah, I'm sure he did want to do that from his heart, of course, but the marketing of himself, the other way through the streets like that too. Like
With
it's
the
like
guns, the red flags.
it's like, you're selling your image and then you're like selling this image too. But it's like, we don't really know. Like I don't really know what the fuck this kid. I can't keep up with these little young shits anymore. This nigga's got rainbow hair. I don't know what he's doing. Excuse me, but. It's just funny to watch, like I'm in my 30s, you sit back and watch these kids doing their thing. So hip hop's just different now. So I'm not like, there's a lot of young niggas that I fuck with that are still, I'll be with the trap music. I still be with the, pumping whatever. So
what are some of the young people that you want to listen to that you actually like, that you enjoy and you feel like good listening to? You don't feel a little, name some young people you like.
I fuck with, I fuck with Dolph. I don't know how young he is, but I fuck with Dolph. And
I like Young Dolph.
His new
shit.
His new artist, Key Glock. I fuck with him.
Key Glock.
I fuck with Roddy Rich, little young
banging
homie
right
from
now.
Compton.
He's just signed to Dream Chasers.
Yeah, so I fuck with him. Anything Compton related, I'm gonna stand behind that. So, yeah, there's a lot of little young cats out there that are just doing their thing right now.
If you have any,
the SOB niggas from the Bay, those cats are out there pumping their shit. They got that whole little Bay vibe going out there.
If you had any advice for some young rappers that are trying to come up in the game right now, like what is like maybe one or two things that are really important that'll go a long way, and then say maybe you might want to, not advice, but like what are a couple reckless things that they can do to get some name? And obviously we see what Tekashi's doing. That's obviously the wrong route because you have all this clout, all this money. You made a couple million a year, top 10 billboards, but now it's gonna go to waste if you spend 20 years locked up in federal prison.
Yeah.
But like, how would you make some recommendations or some tips and tricks and shit?
I mean, as far as like being a successful rapper, like that's not my lane, but I would just definitely say you gotta have your mind and your money right, because it takes both to like really succeed in the game. And you gotta like understand a lot of these rappers that are like garbage that are getting the airtime and stuff. They're not just coming to the label with like talent, They're coming to the label with talent and X amount of dollars to like for them to match or like to put up the so they get these deals. And it's like money talks too. So you gotta have like, you gotta have money to be shooting your own videos and doing your own. That's why being independent and not going with the label is so much more, has so much more incentive,
But if you're coming to the label with like half of your budget in cash, then why would you need a label in the first place?
I mean, because shit.
Distribution,
the money that they're gonna throw up
on the radio,
like they got a lot more than we got, So we're gonna
we got 50K, they got 100.
It's like, all right, we're gonna fucking hit you with that fucking 500K, like bam, all right, now you got some little money, breathing room and shit, but that's just a sucker's route to go because that's. You gotta, when the shit drops, it's gotta sell. If it don't, you in a hole, and it's like you owing the white man money, and who, you don't want to be in that boat. So.
If you're in the rap game to get like lit in the first year, you're in the wrong game, bro.
Yeah.
Any game, whether it's a drug game, you want to go legit route 9 to 5, or if you want to go rap, like if you're trying to get rich in the first year, like.
Nah,
you gotta do foul shit. And
you ain't
get
getting
caught.
rich. Nobody getting rich in the first year. Like you gotta just be.
You gotta be grinding 2, 3, 4, 5, 10.
Nothing comes easy, man. Nobody got rich overnight unless you just hit the lotto, and even then, shit, they took half your shit right away. So
at least.
So yeah, it's all about hustle, man. Staying on your grind and just being focused on whatever it is you do. I'm like, I fuck with people who do that. That's why we have like, like all my boys will be shit. Let's hit these trips. Let's hit the road. Let's go have some fun because, you work hard, you put them hours in, and it's like shit. You deserve to treat yourself to them good times.
Let's talk about a little bit about the Kanye's. Did you hear about the Kanye and the Drake beef that was going on recently.
Yeah.
You know, Kanye invited Drake out to fucking Wyoming and told Drake, like, hey, I need your help on this album. Make a beat for me, make a rap for me. And then Drake felt really comfortable and let him listen to the track about his kid.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how the whole beef started. Do you feel like Kanye set him up? Or there's more things behind closed doors? Or like, what do you feel about Pusha T?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's a very, very in-depth situation from what it seems like. So Kanye is very, he's playing chess out here. So you just got to know that from the jump. So I don't know, whatever the fuck they was up to, he was definitely, there was some strategy played out into his, But as far as like,
but could you really like? Would you believe it if someone said like, oh, Kanye had this shit planned out, he was gonna set up Drake and take him off the top notch? Because Kanye was the best rapper out for years and years before Drake came out. Then Drake came out and took his shine, maybe not on purpose, obviously not on purpose, just took his shine. Do you think like Kanye tried to take advantage of the situation of like, you know what, I'm gonna play this fool and I'm gonna take him out?
I mean, it could have been, Yeezy is petty like that.
He's a petty guy.
Yeezy is petty, so it's very, very possible. But I'm not gonna,
we don't have the facts.
I'm not gonna put nothing past him. Yeah, we don't have the facts, so it's like it's all speculation. But I definitely don't put nothing past Yeezy. So, if there was, like I said, there was some strategic, planning that went into that. It could have been or maybe it wasn't. Like who knows? But I definitely can see Yeezy not being one to just let shit slide, do some petty shit, basically.
Do you believe the whole Prince Jay, the owner of I think it's Rap A Lot Records, told Drake not to put out the diss track? Do you believe that? Or is it just a cover story?
I mean,
do you really believe it, honestly?
Regardless of if it's true or not, that's a bitch ass fucking move for Jay Prince to even have to, or who are you? Like Jay Prince, like I know who you are, but it's like you ain't got nothing to do with this. Like what is you? Like what
he said that if he didn't,
there was gonna put something out that was gonna
kill somebody, was gonna get shot,
end his career, or something like that. Whatever.
It was gonna be. He said that he felt like he had the power to stop some Biggie and Tupac shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Those are big words.
I think people just got to stop trying to compare shit to Biggie and Tupac because nothing's
like
gonna
I did earlier.
No. I'm just saying. It's just like the Biggie and Tupac thing is like that's its own different realm.
You gotta think about it like this, bro. Tupac and Biggie, like they both died, but there's how many more rappers after that have died over rap music, bro? Like,
but not in that fashion and not
over beef,
not over the that was the extreme of the extreme, and I don't even think that was like anything that can be compared to that because he lost them both, and it's just like it's crazy. But there's been other beefs, and there's been other rappers that have gotten shot, definitely, and it's hard to say like a lot of them were like rap related. Because some of them are just out here in the streets like that, and
some of the best rappers come from the street,
no doubt. But then some of them are setups. You don't know, like Chinks. Like you don't know what happened with Chinks. Like the way it happened, it sounds like it could have been a hit. Like could have been just some accidental shit or just caught him slipping or who knows, But it's always got to be, you got to be wary of the street element that these dudes are involved with too.
That's crazy. All right, let's see. So there's a lot of talk about the Queen or King of New York, and A Boogie at one point was kind of coming for the King of New York, but Tekashi was claiming it hard, and even A Boogie in his last interview with Academics said that at the moment Tekashi's got it. This was before the FBI and everybody locked in on Tekashi and got locked up. He just straight up said like, Tekashi's got the buzz, he's got the hits. We're gonna give him the crown for right now. But as far as a female Queen of New York, because there's a rap that came out, I think it was on Lil Yachty's Who Want the Smoke, that Cardi B said she's the king of New York. She didn't say queen, she said king of New York. And even Tekashi kind of said like, yeah, you know what, she got me for a little bit. She got me on this and that because Cardi B is making fucking moves with fashion and music and different things like that. But when it comes to as far as bars, like Nicki Minaj and the Cardi B beef is, you can't deny it. It's out there. They're fighting each other. They're meeting up at galas and different fashion shows and getting down with each other, some straight street shit. If you had to pick as far as who was the queen of New York or who's holding down New York as a female, whether it's bars or just buzz or fashion or marketing, like who would you rather give it to? Would you give it to Nicki or would you give it to Cardi?
Well, definitely, I'm gonna lyrically. Cardi B is not even in the same arena because, like, I don't look at her as like a lyrical artist. So, bars being most important, I would say Nicki definitely wins right there.
You rank bars first on anything, especially when it comes to rappers.
I mean, that's what we're out here for, right? You know, we're out here for
The bars,
flashy beats and good bars, right?
yeah.
You know, yeah, I can respect some turn up shit. You know, Cardi should be lit. She be turned up. She heard a couple joints with her with the Migos, and her joints be slapping and shit. But I've never heard her spit nothing that was like blew me away, like mind blowing. You know, like I said, we've all heard Nicki like spit. You know, and like we've heard other like female artists who can like really really spit. Like Cardi's like out here doing some, you know, cupcake like
Easy
bake oven type shit. You know, so as far as like fashion and shit, I mean, Cardi is killing the kind of like fashion game right now.
Fashion Nova, bro. She sold out. I think she sold out like in 2 or 3 hours, and she made Fashion Nova like $300 million in like I don't know how many hours.
But then it's like fashion's like very wishy washy too. It's like whoever's hot at the moment type shit. So
here today, gone tomorrow.
Yeah, so you already know like that's just how it goes with the fashion shit. Nicki's like, you know, she's been out for a while now. So it's like her buzz is like, you know.
But this kind of shines a light on how there's two different ways to make it to this point. Mm-hmm. Nicki has always been on like the mixtapes and the street level videos where she had no colored hair, playing fucking wife beater, spitting bars on like these mixtapes and these fucking videos. And Cardi B came up through, you know, stripping, VH1,
yeah,
and then rap. And now you got like someone who's been lyrically inclined for 10, 15 years to someone who just got in the game a year ago. I was watching a reggaeton video. Me and my other homies, they love reggaeton. They've been on reggaeton since Daddy Yankee back in 2000 and shit like that. And he showed me a video where Cardi B was an extra. She was just one of the girls in the video.
Yeah.
And now she's, you know, the main girl in the video. So they're coming from different angles. They're getting to the same spot.
Paths are definitely different though, yeah.
Paths are completely different. And opposite sides.
Like I think Cardi's path is a reflection of this new generation. And it's like Nicki's like, you know, like she's like not too far out of this, you know, like this she's dropped around 2012, something like that. So she's been around for a minute, you know, like when her shit started blowing up, like back then, it was like, we've heard her for a minute, we know what's going on, you know, she's been in the scene for a while, her buzz is like, you know, it's still there, but like fashion-wise, they're not keeping up with her like that, you know, she's kind of feeling like, oh shit, we good?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We feel like, I don't know. She feels like maybe her crown's been kind of tilted a little bit because of this new girl in the mix. But like me personally, I said lyrically she doesn't compare. That's a major factor for me. This new era of rap is just like so quick to just be like, oh, everything's this and it's better than, you know, like I say, everything's a comparison. And there's really,
for sure.
like, you know, there's no comparison like whatsoever. I mean, they do the same shit with fucking Jordan and fucking.
You know what?
LeBron.
That's exactly what I get into next. I think Nicki Minaj is like a fucking center power forward, and then Cardi B is like a shooting guard, point guard, where they want to compare people in different positions and see who's the best. Like, it's just not the same, which is going to be a perfect segue into our next topic, which is going to be LeBron James. LeBron James. So we all know if we follow Gregory Greens on fucking Instagram at Gregory Greens, right? Complete, no spaces, no nothing.
No spaces, no hashtags, no underscores, no none of that shit.
If you follow my guy right here on fucking Instagram, you know that he expects a lot from the organization that is known as the Lakers, which is our, purple and gold. A lot of people here in LA, we bleed purple and gold, and he took it a little bit personal when we acquired Mr. LeBron James in the offseason. And there's a lot of words. He's a polarizing figure. Some people wanted him on the team. Some people didn't want him on the team. Give us your thoughts and what you really feel about LeBron and things you want to get off your chest and how you really feel about LeBron coming to the Lakers.
Oh man, I don't fuck with that shit at all, bro.
Why not? Why don't you fuck with LeBron?
Because that's just nah. I've never been a fan. I'm just not. I'm a real Lakers fan. I've had to deal with this bitch ass nigga and his horrible fan base. The fans is what really gets you. His fans are the worst because like he's not. It's not even it's the type of fan he's created.
He created this fan base.
Created this type of fan base where it's like we root for a player, not a team. He's become such a team hopping motherfucker that like it's like okay to just switch jerseys. Like bro, like when I was a kid, bro, you couldn't be seen fucking wearing a fucking Sonics jersey one day and then now you're wearing a Spurs jersey. Like like niggas would be like, bro, what the fuck?
Bro, every time I see a Spurs jersey in school, I'm like, man, fuck the Spurs, bro, and fuck you too for wearing that fucking jersey.
Yeah, so his fans,
you know what I'm saying?
His fans are just like. I didn't want him coming to the Lakers because I knew what was coming with that. It was going to be a big ass fucking media circus. I knew he was going to bring his fucking that horrible fan base who just talks shit about the Lakers all the time. They've been for the last 10 years. All you've heard from LeBron fans is fuck Kobe, fuck the Lakers, fuck this, fuck that. Kobe sucks.
LeBron's better than Kobe.
Yeah,
all that
this
shit.
Ridiculous bullshit, right?
Talk a little closer to the mic.
So. You would just fucking hear all this bullshit, and the reason why I didn't want him to come is because, like, I don't want his fucking fan base or his fucking him trying to come over here and try and make the Lakers part of his fucking legacy. Like, he don't deserve to be a fucking Laker, bro. He don't deserve to wear the purple.
You hate to see him in the purple and gold.
I hate to see it, bro.
It bothers you.
I've
to the court.
I've turned
because you've seen Magic, you've seen Shaq, you've seen Kobe.
Yeah, I've watched all them all, bro. I've watched basketball since I was a kid.
You played in the Forum.
Yes.
As a young kid with the fucking the jersey and the Raptors.
Yeah,
I heard about those stories.
Played soccer in the Forum as a kid, like so.
Man, it's deep for you.
It's deep out there, So like
it's not a Sports Center special. Like it's a life for you.
I've been a Laker fan my whole fucking life. I've watched all these these dogs we've had. Kareem, Magic, Shaq, Kobe, just dogs,
Hell yeah.
Then we get
Hall of Famers, bro. Exactly. Beyond.
And just the culture that we have is it's a winning culture. And I know what's happened. Kobe retired. We knew when Kobe was going to retire that the team was going to go down for a couple years because we got to rebuild.
Right. Automatic.
Now I'm all with that, and I knew that was coming. But the reason why, like, it doesn't make any fucking sense for us to have gotten LeBron because like we could have gotten Kawhi and Boogie and been dumb straight. We would have been a lot less media hype because when does Kawhi have a camera in his face?
He barely speaks English. So it feels
exactly. Like, it would just be like LeBron came here just because,
Okay, but look. I think the reason, like, from coming, because you're on the whole other spectrum where, like, fuck LeBron, fuck everybody. Like, I don't believe in this shit. I'm over here. I've always been a LeBron fan. I love the way he plays. I love his size in the game. I love his athleticism.
Yeah, you're from his era, so
I think he's a great player. Yeah, I respect him.
He's a great player.
He's not my favorite player.
He's a great player.
I named my son. My son's name is Jordan. This is the tattoo I have right here. My son's name. My favorite player is Jordan. Yeah. Then it was Kobe. Now LeBron's trying to come in, and to me, he hasn't proved himself for me to call him better than Kobe, better than LeBron, better than Jordan. But he's probably the best player. Here, and the only other player that's at his level or better than him is Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
So,
Kevin Durant is definitely a better player than LeBron James.
overall. So the only person
And in the clutch.
So the only person that I think that can overshadow Kevin Durant or be better than Kevin Durant is the best chances we have as a Laker organization, and we love to win. We'll pay extra to win. We'll pay the tax. We'll pay the luxury tax. We'll move our fucking ticket prices up, and we'll do anything possible just to win because we're fucking greedy and thirsty as LA motherfucker Lakers because we fucking demand as fans to win. And I understand your where it hurts and why because we're all just Laker fans. We're just like you know what I'm saying? But what other move like Kawhi Leonard? I don't think Kawhi Leonard or Boogie can beat Durant in 7 games.
Well, what do you think LeBron's gonna do?
LeBron almost beat. If LeBron, I think if LeBron would have won for game 1 in Golden State last year, and if J.R. Smith wouldn't have fucked that up, I think that series would have gone at least to 7 games and made it worth it. I think it would have made it a lot better.
I'm gonna have to agree to disagree on that.
Let's do that.
Because there's no way in hell LeBron was taking that goddamn series to 7 games last year. No matter he could have
think so.
He could have had God on his team last year, and he wouldn't have made it to 7 games. Them Warriors were on his motherfucking neck, like pit bulls on a pack of fucking meat. You know what I'm saying? Like it was ugly, you know. And it's just like once again we saw LeBron do what he does a lot more frequently than he does win, and that's check out in the big moments. Now everyone wants to run and talk about his stats. Yeah, he put up 50 points in game 1. He went 50, 22, and fucking 12 in game 1. Yeah, and he lost. So what? We don't give a fuck about his stats.
You know what? What I've noticed about LeBron's game is LeBron is horrible at free throws, and Kobe was so great at fucking free throws.
He's
and
horrible
that's just
at
a
free throws. He's
huge
horrible
difference.
at defense. You know, like there's a lot of things in LeBron's game that are just.
Kobe's a little bit more liquid. Jordan's a little bit more liquid. LeBron's like, let me drive and hopefully I don't get fouled at the rim.
It's very.
And
like,
if I do get fouled, they'll get the call. I'm gonna cry at the ref.
And that's what I'm saying. Like being someone who's watched basketball from the Magic Johnson, Larry Bird era to the Jordan, to the Kobe's, to the I watched it all as a kid. And as a kid, you grow up watching.
Bro, he has the body to be a bully.
But like you don't like.
I wish he was a bully.
I don't see with just the way the game's played now and the rules and everything, and then just his style and his aggression. It's
so much finesse. There's no aggression. There's no aggression. It's all finesse.
It's all just fucking. It's all just trying to be fucking. Flashy. It's like
bro. If LeBron would just turn on the shit and be aggressive and start fighting niggas on the fucking court, bro. Like, you can't teach that.
You can't. Like, he's not built like that. Bro.
You can't teach that.
He's not built like that.
I wish he would start fighting people on the court.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
that will make the big difference. I think so.
Nah,
be afraid of him. You got to be afraid of LeBron. No one's afraid of LeBron.
Nobody is.
No one's afraid of him.
How can you be afraid of him when Jason Terry busted your ass in the fucking finals? I'm not afraid of you, nigga. I'll go one-on-one with LeBron now, nigga.
If
I'll give that nigga 5 to 7.
Let's give it the street test. If I saw Kobe right here down the street playing on the fucking street, I'll be like, damn, like I would just pass Kobe the ball, like here, Kobe. Bro. But if I see LeBron, like fuck it, LeBron. Let me give you 2 rounds.
Nobody's scared of LeBron. Because
I'm scared of him.
Nobody, bro. You see the way fucking young Tatum just banged out on that nigga last year and then just like ran up on him and just bumped him like what? Old ass nigga. Your fucking faded hairline ass back. Like that nigga just banged on him, bro. Like I ain't never seen nobody do LeBron like that. I ain't seen LeBron do nobody like that. And that's another thing we could talk about that no one really brings up. How many like compared to like Kobe and LeBron, you look at how many posters. Kobe posterized everyone.
Bro, he jumped over Dwight.
He posterized everyone.
Gracias.
Shout out to Dwight and your new story, bro. I just heard about that.
Story?
Oh, it's a new story on Dwight, but you go ahead and look that up.
What do you mean? Tell me about it. Tell me a little bit.
Oh, I don't know. I heard Dwight got a little one of his little side things that leaked some information and some conversations about him.
Going way left.
Just shout out to Dwight Howard.
Oh man.
Hope you get well soon.
Bro, Dwight Howard was one of the biggest disappointments in Laker history.
Oh man, he's a bum.
But I can't.
Kobe was right. Soft.
I would never throw shade on the Laker organization. When they see the best player out there, they're gonna go and grab him.
Well,
That's
I
what
don't
we
give
do
a
as
fuck.
Lakers.
I
We
don't
go
give
grab.
I don't give a fuck. Them thinking that going to grab LeBron is going to be the best situation was
Hey,
not.
so we gotta put butts in the seats.
That's fine, but you need to put banners on the fucking on the.
We gotta put butts in the seats. We gotta sell Laker jerseys, but most important, in front of all, we gotta put banners
No.
in the fucking.
See, that's where you're wrong. As a Laker organization, as a fan that I grew up, as a Laker fan I grew up, you banners were first. There was no butts in the seats. Fuck that.
No one's gonna come watch a losing
Bro,
team.
It don't matter though. Once you fucking, that's what I'm saying. Once you get the fucking team and you have the fucking moves to make the run for the championship, that's all we were thinking. Like as Laker fans for 30 years of my fucking, from me being a little kid to like Kobe retiring, it was like we're gonna be in the fucking playoffs like every fucking year. There was no doubt about that. So it was just about how we're shaping this team to make the run. Those final, like.
How about this though? How about this? Paul George, they didn't want to be a Laker. Kawhi, they didn't want to be a Laker.
Because of LeBron.
Cousins, Boogie, they didn't want to be a
Because of
Laker.
LeBron.
Nobody wants to be a Laker, bro.
No, nobody wants to play with LeBron. Nobody wants to play with LeBron.
Why?
Because they saw what happened to Kyrie.
What happened to Kyrie?
They saw what happened to Kyrie. Kyrie won the Finals MVP, and they gave it to LeBron. Kyrie won. Kyrie was the one that carried them through that fucking series when Curry got ejected and Draymond got ejected. Kyrie was the one fucking killing them. Kyrie was the one hitting the big shots at the end of the series to win it. And they gave the Finals MVP to fucking LeBron. They kept trying to sun Kyrie the entire season. The entire season. Kyrie's answering dumbass questions about LeBron to the point where you even saw him getting sick of it. Like, bro, don't ask me dumbass questions about that. That nigga's not my dad. Like he says shit like that. Like, I got one father. Like, don't, because the dude tried to ask him, like, what do you think about LeBron playing like a father figure role on this team and shit? That nigga Kyrie looked at him like, bro, I'll fucking choke you. Like, don't ask me no stupid shit like that. Like, so.
But okay. But you think Kyrie, say his name again.
Kawhi or Kyrie.
Kyrie, there you go. I'm confused. Kyrie, you think Kyrie's like really legit? He's a great player. You think he's gonna bring a championship to Boston though?
I think he has a just as good a chance as
especially with the Golden State being in all their turmoil and they're hating each other, fighting with each other. What the look? You live in the Bay. What the fuck is going on with Golden State, bro? They're about to choke each other out on the fucking bench.
I think the media is doing the same thing they did with the Lakers with Shaq and Kobe.
They're pumping it up.
They're just trying to pump up some bullshit.
A little
story.
situation that got out of hand. That
they're trying to pump up some bullshit.
A bunch
story.
of alpha males in one locker room.
They're gonna try and drive a divide between them
and break it up.
That's
because the media hates fucking dynasties, bro.
They hate seeing these niggas win, and they know like that's why it looks bitch made for especially these LeBron fans. They fucking talk all this shit about KD. KD's a snake. Kobe's a bitch. He's better than Kobe. KD's a snake, right? How come when the Lakers went 0-3 to start the season, these motherfuckers were calling for Kobe to come out of retirement? How come Kobe had to go on the fucking TV and say, if the Lakers go 0-5, I'll consider it? You know what I'm saying? Like, and the LeBron fans were, you went from last year saying Kobe ain't shit to now, come out of retirement. That'd be dope if he came out. Yeah, you would fucking look like a real sucker. Like, that's what I mean when they contradict themselves. They like say stupid shit like that. This story with the Warriors breaks. Now it's like, there's turmoil in Golden State. KD's coming to the Lakers. Like, you just called him a snake. You said he was the biggest snake in NBA history.
Who called him a snake?
All of LeBron fans say Curry's
on Instagram,
a snake. Say
comments.
KD's a snake.
Right.
Because they say that because they know him moving to Golden State stopped LeBron from winning more rings.
LeBron would have got at least 2 more rings.
Yeah, he would have, but he don't have that.
He just got one.
He ain't built like that.
He got one though.
He got one when KD wasn't there.
He got one.
When KD but when KD came, what did he get?
But KD
splash in the eye.
Check this out.
Splash in the eye.
Before the splashes in the eyes, KD was like hiding behind OKC, and he wants to be
hiding.
He wanted to be the hometown hero and bring a championship to OKC.
How is he a hometown hero?
You can't do that, bro. Because OKC is very close to Texas, miles away.
First of all, miles away. No, OKC is not a hometown hero.
It's the South, bro. That's like us saying West Coast. Oakland, LA, West Coast, miles away.
Okay, I've never ever heard anyone say KD was Oklahoma's hometown hero.
But he was drafted by the fucking He was drafted by the Sonics. They moved to OKC, and he really wanted to bring a ring to fucking OKC before he left.
I understand that. But
Right?
that is how is he?
But it didn't happen.
How is he OKC's hometown hero though?
They fucking love that motherfucker out there.
Okay, yeah, they love him because they've never had a fucking sports
But
team
he's
ever
been
in
a
their life.
professional only in that
But
city
he's
to
not,
that point.
He's not from there though.
But he was drafted there.
No,
Kobe's from Philly, but he's LA for life now.
No, but he was drafted to fucking Seattle.
But then they moved to fucking
Yeah,
OKC,
but I mean,
and then OKC.
yeah.
Bro, you don't think he went out to go get a bagel one time, and then
I know,
everyone
but
paid
I'm
for his
saying,
bagel, and then like
they
they just
didn't-
parking
he-
spot for you?
he didn't
take care of him all day. You don't think that happened?
He didn't know they were gonna move to OKC.
But he moved. But he did.
He got drafted to Seattle,
Bro,
and then they just moved to OKC.
Kevin Durant was showing up to high school games. He was showing up to college games. He was playing flag football. He was playing. He was in the community involved. He was a whole time hero. He was there.
No, I know.
He was showing face.
Yeah, he's doing his thing. He has to. He's the star player. But yeah, my point is he's just not from there. So like to say like
Oklahoma and Texas is really close.
No, like Akron and Cleveland is really close.
How far is that? I don't know how far that is.
It's in the same state. the Oklahoma's not in Texas,
but they're like border. Watch, if I look it up right now.
But Texas is huge though. Texas is
like a country.
Texas is the biggest state in the fucking world. Shit.
Let me fucking pull up Texas.
Texas
How
is
close
like
is that to Oklahoma?
all of Europe.
Yeah, bro. Okay, look. Would you be mad if okay, right now you hate the Lakers because LeBron's on there. But what if one of your favorite players? Do you think KD's is it safe to say that KD's one of your favorite players right now?
Yeah.
Okay. What if he joins the Lakers next year? What would you do?
I would be totally uninterested in I'm already uninterested in basketball right now because
look at this shit. This is Texas and that's Oklahoma right there. Yeah. He's an hour away from his hometown.
Okay.
That's us to fucking Whittier Narrows. That's us to fucking Anaheim. They're so close to each other, bro. This is Dallas, Texas, and that's Oklahoma right there. Look at the border.
That's where he's
That's
from?
hometown.
Okay.
He went to Texas. He grew up in Texas.
All right.
So Oklahoma's like, hell yeah. I got drafted by the Celtics. We're ending up in OKC. Let's do it.
Yeah, but he didn't know that was going to happen, though.
He
got drafted to Seattle.
But so. I'm just saying, he wanted to bring a fucking ring to OKC.
I mean,
but
every player wants to bring a ring.
Bro, I would love to fucking bring a ring to the Dodgers because we haven't brought a fucking ring in my lifetime. But that's the sort of subject that I want to bring up right now. Yeah. I'm just saying.
I don't know about baseball at all. So
baseball is my thing.
I don't really get into the whole baseball thing.
Okay, let's get back to the subject. So, what if Kevin Durant comes to the Lakers? What are you gonna do?
I'm not interested in that at all either. I'm already not interested in this basketball shit right now with LeBron. So, having another, what? I don't want LeBron winning in LA. I don't want that.
No matter what.
It's no matter what. I would rather. I'm actually cheering for him to come here, lose for the 3 years, and fucking run out the door and leave Laker fans high and dry. That for me would be the ultimate fucking.
You think that's like karma? Like that should. Yeah, that's what should happen.
That's what should happen. You shouldn't be able to come over here and hang no fucking banner. Who are you, bro? You've been on 4 teams, and you want to say you're better than Kobe and better than Jordan? You've been
he
on.
Said that?
You've been on. No. Everyone says
his
that.
Fans say that.
Everyone, the media, everyone says that.
A lot of people speak for him.
Everyone says that, bro. Everyone who has these fucking 90s baby mentalities who just think like stats, I don't get it. I don't get it. I have. But like, there's a handful of people that are fucking out here, like us real motherfuckers, who no, bro, you were never, ever, ever in Jordan's realm.
Bro, look.
Not even close.
Coming from, I'm a 90s baby. I was born
You weren't even in Kobe's realm, bro. You couldn't even get past fucking...
I come from the Pokemon era.
Jameer Nelson.
I come from the Pokemon era. I got to catch them all. I have a LeBron jersey in there that's 12 years old. I have a Kobe jersey. I have 3 Kobe jerseys, 2 or 3 Kobe jerseys in there. And I love LeBron. He's a great player. I respect his hustle, his fucking whole... Yeah, so anyways, I got like 2 or 3... Kobe jerseys. I got a black one, got a yellow one, but I do have that OG Cleveland jersey in there with the fucking stitches coming off, just because I respect the athleticism. And
are the stitches coming off because you burned it at one point?
No, I'll show it to you right now. It's just so old.
Because a lot of people.
I've watched it a couple times.
A lot of people were burning jerseys.
I would never burn a jersey.
When LeBron left.
Once I stamp a flag, I'll stick with it.
Stop right there. how you said LeBron, you would never burn a jersey.
I would never burn a jersey.
Kobe would never leave the Lakers.
Oh, but he tried to.
No, that's a bullshit
He
argument.
almost did.
That's a bullshit argument.
He almost did.
No.
Why?
That's a bullshit argument
What-
that
how do you feel?
that all LeBron's fans
Okay,
always run to.
explain.
Oh, it's easily to explain. I'm the best player in the league. We're losing. I'm the best player in the league and we're losing, and I need to make a run and get my fucking rings before I before I go out. Now, are you upper management gonna make a fucking move, or am I gonna fucking request a trade? Because LeBron fucking threatens to do that shit all the time.
Kobe wanted to go to Chicago.
Kobe didn't want to go anywhere.
That's
bro.
what his shit says. He goes, "Fuck it.
What
If you
shit says?
don't want to bring
Yeah,
me, it's either me or Shaq or trade me to Chicago."
Listen to what you just said. Now I'm not talking about this is post Shaq. This is post Shaq.
No, Shaq was still there.
No. I'm talking about
2009, before the
this is not.
2P?
Kobe didn't request the trade when Shaq was there.
Yes, he did. He says it.
When Kobe requested the trade was when they were bringing in Pau Gasol. I'm talking about the later years.
So that's what they did. They brought in Paul Gasol.
That's the Kobe requesting a trade that everyone talks about.
No.
Yes,
no.
it is. Yes, it
Kobe
is.
went to the front office and said it's either me or
Yes,
Shaq.
but that was
and they traded Shaq to Miami.
That's not what
and
we're
Miami
talking
got
about.
one ring with Shaq.
Okay,
That ring should have been a Laker
You're
ring.
straying way off track though. That's
No,
not
no,
what we're
no,
talking
no.
about.
Okay,
The thing
talk.
the thing that LeBron fans always run to is fucking Kobe requested a trade before Pau Gasol came. The year he was struggling right that year. He was trying to get the fourth and fifth ring without Shaq because Shaq had already gotten his ring with Miami and was rubbing it in Kobe's face. Remember? Kobe, show me how your ass. Tell me how my ass tastes after he won the ring. Remember? Okay, so this is after that.
And they both rapped.
After that, Kobe fucking requested a trade.
Low key. Kobe's fucking rap career. I don't know why so many people hate it.
I don't.
I kind of fuck with it a little bit.
I don't really.
I kind of fuck with it a little bit.
That's a whole nother topic, but
I'm just saying. Okay, continue.
Continue. Kobe fucking.
I fuck with his rap career.
If I'm the best player in the league and I'm not winning, don't you think you have the right to make that
request
threat?
a trade?
Be like, look, bring in somebody that can help me win. Because it wasn't even like he was requesting.
But that
trade.
sounds like something
No.
LeBron would do.
Exactly. LeBron does it all the fucking time, and nobody says shit.
Kobe did it.
But Kobe didn't. You're saying Kobe walked in and requested a trade. LeBron doesn't walk in and request a trade. He didn't request a trade. He said, bring me players, or I'm going to have to go somewhere else. If you're not going to help me win, I'm going to have to go somewhere else to help me win.
There's an interview right now.
He gave him the option.
That said he wanted to go to Bulls. He wanted to play with the Bulls jersey on. He's like, I'm out of here. I want to go play for the Bulls.
So you're going to believe an interview that's like
that Kobe
speculation?
Said from his words? No, Kobe from his mouth said, like, I was going to go to the Bulls.
Yeah, he was going to go to the Bulls if the Lakers didn't do what?
The trade was there, but his wife said, like, no, I don't want to live in Chicago.
That's bullshit, bro. You get the deal done with Pau Gasol, and Kobe's fine with it.
You think Kobe liked Paul Gasol as his number one option?
No, that wasn't his number one option, but did they make it work?
It was
Did they make it work?
Fucking wonderful. I don't know.
Do you think
nobody would make Paul Gasol a champion other than Kobe?
Exactly.
Nobody.
And Kobe knew that. Kobe knew once.
He's like, I just need him to throw a couple lobs to me.
I'm sure, but like if you think about it in the grand spec, who else would have been at that time? Who else would have been better to fill that spot? Who else would we have got other than Pau Gasol?
Didn't we still have Bynum at the time?
Bynum's fucking broke down ass.
His knees hurting. Couldn't jump no more.
I mean,
dunking from his toes.
It was just he was done. So
shout out to Bynum though.
Shout out to Bynum.
He bought us a couple, maybe one or two championships.
He did his thing.
I will buy him a drink if ever I see him at the bar.
Front. But he went out, and then it was like we needed that presence in the middle, and Kobe would just have that. We had him. Who else we get? Ron Artest. Meta World Peace.
Bro, Ron Artest won that Game 7 for us.
Bro, come on. We shot 20.
Kobe took us there, but we needed that 3-pointer.
But the Game 7, we shot 26% in the first half, and we're down by like 6 points. Like, I don't even know how that fucking was possible. But we should have been down by so many more points in that first half.
20 points at least.
And then, for some odd reason, just fucking Ron off the Henny and just wants to start fucking hitting shots in the second half. He went to that halftime Henny on us and fucking came out like... made that little liquor store run before the game.
That was the year he elbowed Harden in the face.
Oh man, that nigga couldn't be stopped, bro. He was like, if you look The coldest part about that is if you look at the highlights from like just look up like his defensive highlight. He locked down everyone. There's fucking footage of him fucking jacking everyone from the ball.
Bro, his eyes.
He made that song "I'm a Champion" before
That song was kind of hot though.
Yeah, and he made that song the day he got signed. And then
That song was hot as fuck.
And then when we won the championship after he fucking hits the game winners and shit.
Bro, that song went took
The
off.
song fucking
I was
drops.
bumping that shit for like a week straight.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. Bro. I was like, this motherfucker. Bro.
All right, man. Let's agree to disagree that with our Kobe and
Like
and
LeBron's
fucking
just,
LeBron
LeBron's
situation.
he's just he's just not cut from that cloth, bro. He's not cut.
Okay,
from,
how about this? How many rings does he have to win in these 4 years for you to fucking give him a little bit of respect? He wins 1 ring, maybe 2 rings. How many rings you gotta respect
first
him?
of all, like I said, I don't even want him to win in LA. But
What if he sweeps the Warriors? What if he sweeps them? What if he sweeps all the way past the finals and just
I mean,
ends
what
this
if
shit
there's
in
a
the first year?
fucking what if there's a tidal wave in LA tomorrow? Like what if?
Okay, but
like there's
Yeah.
that's a
But
that's
what
a,
if he
that's a,
just-
that's a big that's about the same odds.
think so?
Yeah.
1 in a million?
Yeah. What in a
Okay,
billion?
but what if it does happen?
I mean, okay.
You give him a little bit of props and then still hate on him the next season and make him do it again?
I mean, I'm always gonna hate on him.
just
That's
don't
why.
like him
That's
like
why
that.
I don't cheer for him. I can't. It's like I've never liked him from the beginning of his career, and it's
You can't
not.
switch
It's not
sides.
because I don't like him personally. It's just I've never liked the fact that they called him the king. I didn't like how he was just soft in the clutch like that. I didn't like that shit because it's like we're growing up as Kobe fans, Jordan fans. What did we see? We saw greatness in the
Clutch.
clutch. We saw
Never
fucking we
lose.
saw dudes take over when I remember going into games, fucking Laker games playing the Spurs, hot ass fucking Spurs with Duncan and Robinson.
Yes.
And we're going into the
Twin
fourth quarter
Towers.
down fucking 18 points.
Twin Towers.
Now
And
if you're
Shaq-
going
and
to,
Shaq
if you-
has to wake up.
If you're going into the fourth quarter down 18 points against the Spurs, coached by Pop, in the playoffs with LeBron on your fucking team, are you winning that game?
No.
Because Kobe was
You
winning
can't-
that.
Look, if you had only Kobe or only Shaq,
But okay, but
Bro, you
but
need
but
both of
but,
them.
but fast forward to the Pau Gasol years when we were doing the same thing to
Paul Gasol
but
was
but
killing
you
it,
just
bro.
said, can he win? Did you really? You just said Pau Gasol, like, does he really want? Like, he wasn't that
But
good.
he proved himself. Before that, he was in the fucking Memphis Grizzlies
Come
scoring
on, bro.
like 20 points a game.
He was a fucking
20 and
he
10,
was a
20
fucking
and 10,
he was a
20 and
Kevin
10.
he was a Kevin Love situation. 20 and 10 guy every night, just on a shitty team.
But Kobe made him so much greater than that.
Yeah, that's what great players do. You notice how LeBron
Clutch.
doesn't do that to anyone?
I feel like Paul Gasol.
You notice how LeBron doesn't do that to anyone? Well, LeBron should have been. How come J.R. Smith can't fucking get it right?
J.R. is trash.
Exactly.
But he would pull.
No,
look,
no,
look,
no.
Look.
Stop.
Kyrie Irving.
Stop.
Kyrie Irving.
J.R. Smith is trash since he's got to LeBron's team. Go back to fucking Denver.
Did he make an all-star team?
I don't care about that.
No,
I don't
he's not
care.
an
I don't
all-star
care about
player.
that.
He's not an
Go
all-star
back to
player.
that. Go back to that fucking game
He's
six.
not an all-star player in Denver. He's
See
not an all-star
that, but
player
that's
in
just
the Knicks.
corny. Like, oh, he's not an all-star player, so he's not good at basketball.
No, bro. Who forgets they're up by 1 in the finals?
Okay,
on game?
you're talking about shit that I just said. This is shit that he's done since Cleveland. I'm not talking about the fuckery that
Cleveland.
I'm talking about Denver J.R. Smith.
It was okay.
Okay, you don't remember that fucking game, that 6-game, 7-game series that him, Melo against the Lakers, bro? Like, we were in the West playing fucking Melo and J.R. Smith every fucking year, damn near. And they were taking the Lakers to the fucking distance. I'm not saying that
Who
anybody.
won though?
The Lakers won, of course. Where the fuck,
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything against that, but
They
what
were
I'm
a
saying is
comparable opponent.
JR's. Go back and look at J.R. Smith's game in Denver, and then go look at what he was reduced to once he started playing with LeBron. It was a whole night and day.
But is
He
that
was-
LeBron's fault?
Yeah, it's LeBron's fault.
Why?
Because he's good. Because that's what he does. He did it to Kevin Love. Look at what Kevin Love was doing before he got to LeBron's team. 30 and 10, right? Where'd that go? Look at what he did to Bosch.
How come-
Look at what he did to Bosch.
What about doing Wade?
Bosch was a what in the paint powerhouse with a dope shot. But when he got to LeBron's team, what do you again reduce to a baseline jump shooter?
Listen to this,
Same
listen
thing
to
that's
this.
gonna happen with Ingram.
I don't believe it.
Same thing that's gonna happen.
I don't
with-
believe it. I don't
Yep.
believe it. Look, Chris Bosh, J.R. Smith. Who else you want to throw in that mix?
What
They are not Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is first team All-American.
and
all
look, yeah,
NBA.
and look, and he's all of those things. And look, and he still got still didn't get the credit when he fucking was the Finals MVP. Still had to be fucking LeBron's little fucking little scapegoat sidekick. Everything. It's like, bro, who wants to go play on LeBron's team and be that? That's why nobody wants to come to the Lakers. It's not that nobody wants to come to the Lakers. Nobody wants to play with LeBron. And every LeBron fan's like, nobody wanted to play with Kobe. Yeah, because nobody wanted to play with Kobe because Kobe was too fucking tough on you in practice. Kobe's going to make you fucking cry in practice. Kobe's not going to make you fucking you're not going to have one of these little practices that, like you have when you're on the Wizards or you're on one of these bum-ass fucking teams. You're coming to the fucking Lakers and Kobe's going to bust your ass. And a lot of players couldn't handle that. So that's what they were more afraid of. That's why nobody wanted to play with Kobe, because he's going to push you to a level that you probably haven't been pushed to before. LeBron doesn't do that. Nobody's coming to LeBron's team and being like, oh, this dude's going to... Who have you seen LeBron excel their game? Kyrie excelled LeBron's game.
Kyrie was there before LeBron.
But I'm saying, though, Kyrie, that was LeBron's team. Kyrie was there before LeBron because
Kyrie...
LeBron's bitch ass bailed out. And let's not even talk about, like, we didn't even talk about that. Bring this into perspective. Like, I don't give a fuck what anyone says. You leave your fucking team 1, 2, like, this team hopping shit puts a major damper on the legacy. That, as far as I'm concerned. You can't, you want to talk all this greatness. You've been on 4 teams now. You have a fucking losing finals record. You're 3-6 in the final. That's a joke. That's pitiful. It's the worst finals record for any top 10 player ever. So... you're not, and you're just a team hopping ass bitch. Like, at least if you would have stayed in Cleveland, took your licks, you're gonna win eventually.
But you think he wants to live in Cleveland?
No, it's not about, like, of course nobody wants to live where they fucking, where they play at. But it's like, you can't. Not every situation is gonna be like ideal for you to live. But it's like, if you're trying to cement your legacy, which is what everyone was like, that's what everyone thought LeBron was about to do. He's about to come in this league and do some Jordan takeover shit. Now, he did statistically, yeah, he did on paper, yeah, it looks good with your stats because you're a stat padding ass bitch who shoots from the fucking inside of the free throw line majority of the time. Yeah, so of course your shot percentage is gonna be high. And of course you're gonna, you know what I'm saying? Layups. Dunks and layups and shit. And you're garbage from the 3, and you're garbage from the free throw, and that's been your whole career. So it's like he's barely starting to get better.
All right, let's take this a little bit, a couple notches down because we're getting a little heated.
Oh, I thought you liked the heat.
I don't think we're gonna agree on anything. So let's move on. Let's talk about the young Lakers. I hope you still have a sweet warm spot in your heart about the young Lakers, Brandon Ingram, look, Caldwell Pope, Lonzo Ball, Triple B movement. Talk to me about the young Lakers. Let's talk about honestly, LeBron gets a lot of hype, but let's talk about the young Lakers.
I fuck with all of them.
Talk to me about the young Lakers, please.
I don't really. I feel sorry for them.
Why?
Because they're about to just get dogged out. They're about to be subjected to all the.
Bro, Lonzo Ball has like 7 assists, 5 rebounds, 0 points a game. What's going on there?
I mean, he's
Is he caught up in the hype, or like you gotta pass the ball to LeBron, or else he's gonna get grilled in the media?
Yeah.
Or should Lonzo Ball just start fucking throwing 30 points a game?
See, the fact that even has to be a question right there, just let you know what you're dealing with when you play with LeBron's team. So I don't even want to play for a team that has where I have to deal with that worry as a point guard. I shouldn't have to fucking worry about that. I shouldn't have to be getting, but you can't. Because you're gonna get judged from every fucking angle on every media outlet.
If I was on the ball, I would throw up 15 3-pointers.
It's what I'm saying. It's a lot that comes with this nigga playing with this dude. So it's like I feel sorry for these young kids because last year I was cheering for Kuzma killing it. Love the Kuzma. I was hoping Lonzo get his shit together, but now it's like LeBron coming. It's gonna fuck everything up. And like I said, we could have got other pieces. We got money. We could have got other.
Bro,
pieces.
Low key though, Ingram. Ever since LeBron, he wants to fight people now. I love that energy.
Yeah, but I love that energy. The only really nigga I'm fucking with, the only really nigga I pay attention to, is my nigga Lance, because Lance is that dude. But
he needs more minutes.
I mean, he needs. Yeah, he's a killer. He should
be in the starting lineup.
He's a killer. He's just been playing like he's at the park lately. So I be watching his Instagram and shit.
What do you mean he's at the park lately?
No, he's been playing like he's at the park. Like he just with that like dumb like. Just coming down the court like funny real guy. Swaggy. No, not funny. Just like cooking niggas. Like he comes down the court and he just hits you with that just park fucking crossover. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that shit you see niggas getting loose at the at the Rucker and shit with type shit. He's just not. He's real swaggy with it. Letting the crossovers come way out here, bringing it back through the leg, dropping it through the leg and shit.
He's dancing
Hit
on
you
niggas.
dancing niggas, like.
All right, who would you rather be your starting point guard right now? Starting point guard on the Lakers. Would you rather have Rondo or would you rather have Lonzo Ball? Game 7, finals.
I think Rondo's so predictable now. Like, you just gotta go with Lonzo, man.
He lost a step.
You got to like he's just not like. I feel like ever since Kobe like played him out like that with the letting him guarding him from the 3-point line and shit, like he's just not like the defensive threat that he used to be. He used to be like locked down, like a little bit more on D, and a little bit his passing, and he still got the dimes a little bit, but I just think he's past like, it's time for us to get off the Rondo train, like as far as like not even just Lakers, but I don't know. I haven't seen much from him that makes me think like he's still like he's not playing anywhere near like Celtic days. So
all right, look, check this out. Say there's 100 shots a game from the Lakers. How many shots do you feel comfortable with LeBron taking? How many shots do you feel comfortable with Lonzo Ball taking, and then Kuzma, and then Ingram, and then
I'm not
Caldwell
like
Pope?
I said, I'm not even really.
How do you distribute the shots? Are we a 3-point shooting team? Are we a layup team? Are we in the paint team? What team can take us to the finals? What strategy would you give us if you had to give us a little bit of like incentive and a little bit of hope?
I would burn the strategy. I don't want them niggas going to the finals.
Okay, but say you did.
I don't know, man. To be honest, I don't know. I would do anything short of fucking assassinating LeBron. The goddamn.
Even though Lonzo Ball, okay, trip on this. Say Lonzo Ball gets the MVP, or Ingram gets the MVP of the league, and then one of them two also get the MVP of the finals. Who would you rather see hold up that thing?
You're like
and LeBron's in the back, like, okay, fuck it. I gave him a couple tips.
So you said if
Lonzo
has to win the MVP of the league?
Yeah, or Ingram. Or the finals.
Oh, man.
Who would you rather see hold it up? Who deserves it more? Ingram or Lonzo Ball? Or Kuzma?
I think Kuzma.
Do you really think Kuzma's an all-star player?
Yeah. Yeah.
He doesn't have the stats, though.
I mean, I hate stats. I hate people that use stats to
no one's going 4 points a game, 3 rebounds a game, 1 assist a game, and making the fucking all-star
Was
team.
he playing? Was those his stats last year?
What was his stats last year?
I don't know, but was LeBron on the team last year?
No.
So look at his stats last year.
Let me look up his stats last year.
Look up his stats last year and see what he was doing without the big distraction on the team. Because don't throw me the LeBron stats from the stats with the pre-LeBron era with the first 20 games.
Let's find out.
I don't know, but like I'm not saying he's an all-star, but I would rather him be.
Okay, look. All right, look. Last year he was playing 31 minutes a game. This year he's playing 30. Okay, same minutes. Last year he had 16 points. This year he has 16 points.
Okay.
Last year he had 45 percentage field goal. This year he has 47. He's up 2%. Last year he had 6 rebounds a game. Last year he had 6.3. This year he has 5. His assists about the same. Okay,
so he's pretty much the same player.
He's the same player.
Well, that's should show you right there that he's not like getting any
Nothing
worse.
Changed.
He's not like he's definitely like of the 3. I would want him before Ingram and Lonzo.
All right, let's look at Lonzo's stats. Let's see. Let me find this one.
But we're dwelling too much on this Laker team that I'm not interested in because I don't want them to win shit.
All right, look, real
Fuck
quick.
LeBron.
Okay, look. Last year, Lonzo Ball played 27 minutes a game. This year, he's playing... Okay, this year he's playing 27. Last year he played 34. He has more games. Last year he averaged 10 points. This year he's averaging 8. His field goal percentage is up 4%. From 36 to 40. His rebounds are down 1%. His assists are down 3. So yeah, LeBron's taking a little bit of the.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Like that's just like I said, it's the nature of the business when it comes to LeBron joining your team. You
All
have
right.
to just fucking fold and give in to what he says. And you
It's
have
not
to,
even the All-Star break. We gotta like see what happens next. They're on a winning streak. They've won like 8 out of the last 10.
Yeah, I know, but if you're the GOAT, you should be in first place, right? If you're the GOAT,
I mean,
if
LeBron
you're
got
the
like
GOAT, you're the GOAT. He's the
he was
GOAT.
breaking records.
He's the most astounding player we've ever seen in the history of
Athletic.
basketball. You know, like
All right.
whatever term they always trying to come up with some fucking term. He fucking the first player in NBA history to fucking dribble the ball down the court 3 times, breathe through his nostrils, and hit a layup with his left hand. He's the first player to ever do that. It's a new stat.
Hold on.
Like, God damn, are you serious? Did you?
All right, man. So yeah, I think we're agreed to disagree on the whole LeBron Lakers situation.
Yeah, that's definite.
Let's talk about similar subject, but it's a little bit different. Let's talk about the big baller brand. LeVar, fucking Lonzo, Jello, fucking Melo, the youngest one. Who do you think has the biggest fucking like upside as far as an NBA career? The youngest one, the middle one, Lonzo Ball right now on the fucking Lakers. Who do you got your money on?
I mean, I'm going with Lonzo because these other 2 dudes aren't really
They're not there.
proven yet.
That's
They're
what they're
not they're not on that level yet. So we don't know what's gonna happen with Jello or Melo because we seen Jello with when he went to the
Overseas.
he didn't get drafted. Remember?
Oh, Jello. He couldn't even make a G League team.
So it's a lot going on with them. So I think the person with the most upside is the one who actually has made it so far. So till we see more from Jello and Melo, it's just like.
But how much tape have you seen on Melo?
I mean, I've seen him play. I haven't seen him recently because since he's gone back to these high schools. But I mean, I've seen him playing overseas and stuff. He was doing his thing. I know the kid can ball. So
He's 16, 17, 6'3".
yeah, no, he got game, but he's just like, is it gonna
Translate.
Do we know? I don't know yet. Like it's too early to tell really. He has the like the capability though, and then especially being with his brother in the league, like you got every opportunity to study what's going on right now. So
How bad do you think it hurt Jello fucking trying to steal those Louis Vuitton glasses in China? Like, bro, that kind of fucked up the whole fucking pyramid triangle shit.
I mean, you got to realize you're dealing with 20-year-old kids, that don't know how to act.
Spotlight.
They don't know how to act in regular situations, and now you're giving these niggas Lambos and shit and putting them in fucking different cultures and different, it's like
Countries.
So these niggas over here thinking they just do whatever the fuck they want, no consequences, and yeah, you got caught up, and I'm sure the Asian motherfuckers over there ain't gonna be. They don't give a fuck who you are, like shit.
Right.
You stealing. Period. So. I mean, they lucky that situation didn't get worse than what it did, But yeah, that was a dumb move on his part.
What do you think about the JBA?
I haven't really watched much of it, but I think it's a good thing if it continues and if it's starting to gain some kind of like traction. I haven't really followed it though. I'm gonna be honest.
They're getting paid. All players are getting paid about $3,000 a month.
Yeah. I heard about that payment shit, and that's good shit. I mean, I'm all for it if they're gonna start, pushing players to be, to another way for them to get to the league. Hey, that's
Zoom out.
all for that as opposed to going the standard NCAA route because we all know that's fucking modern day slavery.
You know what I mean? They're getting like $3,000 a month. Up a little bit. Try to get more of the TV in the background. There you go. Perfect right there. Yeah, man. All right, let's switch sports. All right, let's talk football real quick for a minute. Okay. You have a couple people that are like really close to you, family or like pretty much family playing the NFL right now in the moment. Do you think it's a tank season for the Raiders? You've been to plenty of Raider games.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the fucking Bay Area all the time. You've been visiting Oakland games. I've yet to make a Raider game. I wanted to make one Raider game at least before they moved to fucking,
Yeah.
Las Vegas, but I might have to just save my money and just go to Vegas and go all out.
Right. It's gonna be wild.
So what do you think? How is it going to the Oakland and watching the game? How is that? What's that experience like?
It's a great experience. Like the Oakland Raider tailgates are lit beyond belief. Like I have a very strong group of homies out there that come from all parts of the East Bay. And they put it down for Oakland real tough. And they're like, when I moved up there, it was like they gave me the welcoming, like, come on over, you welcome here, tailgate with us all the time. So it's and you have that very, very like family like feeling. The Raider Nation is just one big fucking group of savages, like the worst of every, like city. The criminals, the outlaws, the bandits, the rip riders, the gangsters, the hustlers, the pimps. Everybody's a Raider fan that's just out there living that street life, And then you got the, just some random ass white dudes too. So it's a wide spectrum of fans, and it's love though. It's all love like that. None of that shit matters once you out there, the silver and black. You just high five everyone, crack a beer, talk that shit, scream fucking Raiders, and just go.
But you've also like tailgated at the Coliseum versus the Rams.
Yeah, I went there because, well, it was cool because I just wanted to go because I know the Raiders that was a preseason game, but the Raiders hadn't played in LA in 20 years, so it was good to just go out there and see, how dominant the Raider fan base really is compared to these fake ass Rams fans that are like new and just hopping on the bandwagon all of a sudden. But we went out there and it was really dope because it was like, same thing as it is when we go to the San Diego Chargers games, just 70% Raider fans. We was all in the stands wilding. Yeah, there was fights and all that shit, but for the most part it was just, like I was just excited to see that game and just see, football, Raiders football back in LA. And because I know we have a very strong fan base here, even though we ain't been here, just the fact that we were here, and even though the team left, the fans didn't leave, the fans still stayed true. And wearing a Raider hat in LA and wearing anything Raiders related in LA still has very, very strong meaning. And very, very, can contract very strong feelings from someone just because, they know what it is. They know it's the savage thing. It's the savage life. It's gangsta. It's thug. So we're the only city that really had outlawed, Raider hats at school, and Raider shirts, and you can wear the hoodies, and you was getting jumped for your starter jacket walking home from school.
All my life because my dad hustles a lot of MLB, NFL, NBA merchandise all his life. So
yeah,
I've had my closet filled with Raiders, Dodgers, Lakers shit all my life. And 90% of my wardrobe I was not allowed to wear at school, but I will still wear it. I'll get caught up. I have to go after school, pick up my jacket, pick up my jersey, pick up my hat.
Yeah, they wasn't feeling the Kings and the Raiders. They wasn't feeling when I was in school because it was just... that shit just looked like you was up to no good. You come to school dressed in all black with the Raider jacket on, you look like you up to something, and most of us were. So
always
they had to keep it.
Getting high in the restroom or nutrition or lunch or brunch, whatever the fuck they want to call it. Tell me some of the best fucking Raider games you ever been to. Best situations you've arrived at.
Shit, I've been to some good ones, man. I've been to I've been to some playoff. I went to one of the playoff games along the way to the Super Bowl run back in 2001. I was young.
Woodson,
Woodson. It was
Jerry
dope
Rice,
because it was
Tim Brown,
Jerry Rice. Yeah, that team. Gannon. So I remember I was like 20 years old, and this was like 2021, and I was in LA, and I caught the Greyhound to Oakland.
Damn.
Fucking, I was, as a kid, gutter.
Gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Caught the Greyhound to
Any way
Oakland.
possible.
I had a homie, I had a Samoan homie that was living in the fucking Hunters Point projects. And so I caught the Greyhound. This was my first time actually ever going to San Francisco too. So like I'm in San Francisco like for the first time experiencing the city. And I get off the bus and he's just like, like we gonna fucking hit this game. But
Keep going.
yeah, we just like had
Mike
to.
is recording? You sure? Keep going.
We had to make sure that this, everything was legit with the tickets and everything. So we got everything squared away.
Shout out to Money Mike.
And we hit the game. It was a cool ass, it was gutted though because I spent the whole day in Hunters Point, and this is back in the Bay when the Bay was still like grimy. Hunters Point was still grimy,
Sure.
no gentrification, and then from that we go, damn near getting, I think we might have got shot at that night too. In San Fran. Yeah. Because we was in like I said, the projects were lit, over there, Harbor Road. Shout out to my boy RBL, they be out there. That's their neighborhood. So we was out there and then came out to the game the next day and it was Rich Gannon and them. It was a playoff game against the Jets. Like Wayne Corbett and shit. Like, I don't know if you remember that. That was one of the white boy receivers that they had back in the day. They they beat them. It was a good ass game. We got to see Woodson on display, That was one of the most memorable games like ever I think I went to. I think I might have went to some as a younger kid that I don't really remember the significance of them. But they were definitely in those like 80s, 90s like Raiders days, when shit was real. And then like I've been to some dope ones like along the way. We've had some pretty rough years other than that though, but there was some times where you go and fucking you see fucking throw up a fucking big game, and then sometimes they get blown the fuck out. You just gotta like fuck take the L. So,
all right. Well, let's take a quick step back into another thing that Gregory Greens is known about nowadays, which is his. It started off with like 20 cheeses, maybe less. Now we're at 25. Yeah. And now we're at 30 with a little bit of fucking truffle flakes post up. Tell me how you came up so quick in the fucking mac and cheese game and how people are begging you. They're begging you for plates. They're begging to play $50 a plate. They're begging you to open up a restaurant or a food truck. Tell them what these people are begging for. They want it.
They want it, man. I can't. What can I say? We have a young saying that we talk about out here. We doing numbers. So
doing numbers on the punk bitch.
Doing numbers on the punk bitch. Shout out my nigga Larry June. It's my nigga Larry right June. There. We had I
gotta meet that guy. I'm gonna go to the Bay and meet that guy.
Come up to the Bay, man.
I gotta meet that guy.
Go for a take you on an organic bike ride. Bro. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta meet Larry June. I'm coming to meet you.
Coming to fuck with you. Tap in. Get you a fresh squeeze. Uncle Larry's orange juice. Shout out at Uncle Larry's orange juice. Get you that
orange juice.
Orange juice costs $11 though. It ain't cheap. So
let me get 2 of those.
My nigga said, slide through whenever you good.
Let's get it. So tell me how it is to come from from the streets to trying to work up the cook game and what people are begging for.
Yeah, like I was, obviously raised by, I had big mama, my grandma Carol back in the day from Watts, California. She was out there, whipping the bomb mac and cheese all my life growing up. I had a couple aunties that was on mac and cheese duty. My mom.
Low key, Greg brought me a fucking big ass plate of mac and cheese. I'm about to go fuck that shit up right now. I'm just saying.
I had to bring him a sample,
Bro.
But, so yeah, my grandma, mac and cheese has always been one of my favorites on the plate, the Thanksgiving plate, So I was always fucking with whoever had the fire mac and cheese, So once my mom started whipping the fire, so I was like, okay, we got this shit every year. But then I was like, I want to learn how to make it. And then when she showed me, like, all right, cool, then I just started taking it and just adding more cheese. And it started with like 10 cheeses, really. So I had 10, and I just said, fuck it, I'm going to just start doing more just because, I like exotic shit. I like doing, fucking with cheeses that nigga ain't ever heard of
before.
Bro,
you're putting cheeses in there from fucking different countries.
Different fucking countries. We across the globe with it,
You know what I'm saying?
I went to Maldives just to see what kind of cheese they got over there, you know what I'm saying? Real nigga out there swimming with the dolphins and shit. Just fucking. So I was like, I'm trying to see what's good, make a good blend and just like step the cheese game up little by little. And as like the Instagram, social media shit kind of caught on, you know, I started like hashtagging it and posting it, you know, whenever it was done, 20 cheese mac, whatever. Then I bumped up to 25, you know. And then this year I was like, fuck it, we might as well just keep, you know, keep going up, push it to 30, because it ain't no sense in just stopping. And what I've noticed too is like it's starting to catch on to the point where like motherfuckers are expecting me to do it. They expecting me to make the mac and cheese, like they already know it's Gucci, you know. But then they also like they want to do it, you know, which is cool. Like, yo, oh, you know, but fools will hit me like, oh, give me your recipe. Like, is there a recipe? And I'm like, look, I don't really have a recipe. You know, I know how to whip it. I make the noodles and just mix the cheese and mix my own sauce. I do my own little special little twist on it, but I can't give out the secret, you know. But it's not like a written down recipe that I have. So it's kind of like
if it was that easy, it would be that easy.
Exactly, everything
easy.
Freestyle kind of off the head, and then with just a little bit of the shit grandma taught me along the way. So, you know, and then my added rendition to just, you know, exotic cheeses. You just gotta put a blend on it, and then like, you know, I'm in the store and I see the $100 truffles right there, so I'm like, okay, we got a $100 truffle. You know, shout out to my niggas at Whole Foods.
Say it again.
$100 truffles on a punk bitch doing numbers. Oof. You know. Grate that bitch up and make you, you know, have your ass over here flavored up.
Bro, these plates are easily going for 25, 30,
I mean,
35,
I've
$40 a plate.
I've had offers. People just hitting me like, let me get, I'm like, come through. I've had offers on the, can you make me the tray? I'll be like, yeah, I can make you the tray, you know, like I don't even be charging $5. I could charge $5.
That's a $5 easy.
I usually just give it for the $350 because it's like
bro, it's like $500
it's
tray.
like $250 for all the ingredients, and niggas shoot me, but it's like easily I could sell it for $500.
But you gotta have the timing. You gotta know when to put the noodles. You gotta know when to put the cheese.
No, it's art. It's art. It's not just making mac and cheese.
$500 fucking.
And not only that, it's labor, bro. Yeah. The labor of grating 30 cheeses.
You gotta have the knowledge up here.
30 cheeses is not easy to grate.
For different countries.
Your arm be hurting.
Bro.
I don't do the fucking electric joint. I'm out there with the big fucking hand joint. You know what I'm saying? Like,
fucking you putting all of the arthritis in that shoulder.
But it's all good though. You know, you put that love into it, and that's what you get out of it. So everyone's like, it's become a hit in the streets.
You got special toppings on the top, make it a little crusty.
You know, I make it very. You're gonna taste it all when you know. Make sure you warm it up really good.
Oof.
Make it really hot.
Bro. Toppings, yeah.
Okay, 3, yeah. 2. You know, we got to put a few toppings on there. You know, couple little hidden ingredients. We can't give y'all too much.
Not too much.
So we're just gonna let you, you know, pull up on your boy, get a plate one time, and then you know you can see for yourself.
Yeah, you know, pull up real quick. If you're with the business, you're trying to drop at least $30, you know, dollars on the fucking mac and cheese plate. If you ever need
a custom order done, custom mac and cheese made in the middle of July, you know, I could do that.
Where are they gonna find you at?
You can find me at Gregory Green. Slide in the DMs like a motherfucking penguin on the ice, baby. We out here.
Let's end it on that note. You know, it's the Lit Outlet Trap House. # Lit Outlet Trap House Podcast. This is something new. We're kind of fucking... We've been thinking about this. We've been cooking about this shit up. We're bringing some shit new.
About time to bring it to the street, you know. It's,
Gregory's finally down to put his face on camera.
You know, I've been sought after. I can't lie. You know, I had a couple other podcasts.
He finally found the right connection.
I found a little plug. You know, something comfortable, close to home, where I could just, you know, vent. Yeah. You know, I feel like everybody be seeing my events.
The streets been talking. They want
Streets been talking. They've been talking. You know, they want the memes. They want the mac and cheese. They want the truth. You know, and it take a real nigga to give them to them. So
they want somebody to put the red pill on them. You know what I'm saying?
You got to drop those red pills, man. I'm out here. I got red pills for the low. You know, go ahead and pull up on your boy. Shit, a little truth serum never hurt nobody.
So plug in to the Lit Outlet Podcast. We're trying to drop this shit at least every couple of days. Hopefully less than a week every time. Plug in. Hit us with a couple likes, repost this shit, and that's how we gonna fucking do it for the rest of the couple forever, homie.
This is just the first one. We just warming up. You know, once I get this shit down, nigga, it's over. Like Jordan in the fourth, baby.
Know what I'm saying?
No LeBron.
But
championships.
3P on this bitch. I want to give a special shout out to the homie Gregory Greens. Sure. Thank you so much for coming out, bro. Appreciate the love. Know what I'm saying? All my essays, Asians, Haitians, Dominicans, white boys.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Hey, you know.
We got love for all y'all.
That's how we do it. West side till I die.
Exactly. So all the people that fucking with us, you know, born and raised in the West Coast. This is the West Coast fucking podcast for
But we
everybody.
shooting it out to the world, so don't even think that we forgot about the rest of you niggas.
Bro, we love the world.
I got niggas in Australia. I got niggas
Shout out
in
to
the Maldives.
Australia.
I got niggas in motherfucking NYC. I got niggas in London. So all I gotta do is say tap in. My niggas gonna tap in. So.
But all the homies in
Everybody-
Southgate, Cudahy, Bell Gardens,
Yeah, we
Gage
doing all the
Avenue.
LA cities too. You know,
Pacific
we Compton,
Boulevard is
Watts,
cracking.
Slauson. We still up and down the block. So
Let's
catch
get
me.
it. Yo, thank you for watching this shit. You know what this is. Share with your homies. Like this shit. Repost. Let's get it. We'll see you in the next episode. It's cracking.